ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, daddies and mommies. Welcome to the Church of Violence. It's a beautiful Thursday evening. Thank you, Vel, Danke. In whatever language you understand, thank you, Oshe, Mungo De, Dalu. Thank you guys for always coming. All you special first respondents, you guys are the MVPs. Thank you for always sticking with us. Thank you for always coming to the Church of Violence on time. Thank you for always gingering me. So many people, many of you guys probably forgot when I announced last week that we're going to be having the time switch. From Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be having our spaces 7 p.m. Nigerian time because we on our own, we have a whole lot of engagements. We have a whole lot of stuff we're doing behind the scenes, personal life. So we're trying to make sure we can come out every time for the space fresh and ready as possible. So for those that are wondering why, those that reached me up in the DM are asking why is our space not 4 o'clock? Sorry, our spaces going forward, hopefully, probably, let's just keep it this way. I think 7 p.m. Nigerian time, Tuesdays, Thursdays, then we'll always have our prime time on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. So that is just that one more time to remind you guys that is why we are starting today by 7 p.m. All right, guys, thank you so much one more time. Thank you for always joining us on this platform. Thank you for always coming to the Church of Violence. We are back again on another Thursday evening to do the Lord's work, to talk about issues that have to do with nation building, to talk about issues that have to do with our daily lives, our country as much as possible. So I say this all the time. Thank you so much. It is important. I thank and appreciate all you first responders because you guys are the ones that always come here on time. And there are only two set of people that always get this Thanksgiving in the course of this whole space. I think those that come early and those that stay to the end, because at the end of the space, do another shout out of Thanksgiving. But you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sticking with us. All right, guys, thank you. As I always say on the platform, when you come into the Church of Violence, the first thing you do when you come into this church is to pay your tithes and your offerings. Bring your tithes and offerings to the altar of the Church of Violence. And how do you do that? For those wondering, what do you mean by tithes and offerings? The first thing you do when you step into this church is to go hit the retweet button, share the space, like the space, let people know that the number one space in Twitter Nigeria is up and freaking running, and we're about to go ham tonight. So if you have not paid your tithes, you have not donated your offerings, I need you all right now to hit that like buttons, hit that retweet buttons, share the space, get people into the conversation, let them know that we are back again. I say this, it is very, very important we bring in people to these conversations because most times why I so much love these spaces, at the end of the whole day, we have all our emotions burning up. There are times we're laughing on the space, we get so serious, we get so infuriated, we get so angry. It's just a mixture of everything. It's a general emotional space for me. So I always love it up in this platform. So guys, I indulge all of you one more time. Share the space, retweet the space, let people know that we are back again and we are running. And one more time, let me sell our product. The Violence space. We have this space running on our radio station. If you're that person that love listening to spaces, if you love, we stream a whole lot of obedient spaces live. Yeah. So if you love listening to spaces, if you love what we do on the content we do, you can always, even when we're out of the space, you can always listen to our Violence Space Radio is online at www.radio.violencespace.com. That's our radio station. It's a 24 hours platform where we stream our previous spaces, stream events, play good music. It's just the best place to be if you are the person that love in your workplace. You just feel like, I want to do something, I want to listen to something different. You can just stream our radio. We are streaming 24 hours every day. And I say this all the time. The replay value of the Violence space is golden. I don't think there's anything that beats the replay value of this space. This space replay value is eternal. You can always ask those that have tried, that go back to replay the space, you will understand. You hear wonderful submissions. You get to hear things that probably you don't even hear at the crux of as a rush, as things are rushing right now. You might probably skip one or two things, but when you go back and replay this space, you always understand why we keep these spaces recorded, because it is important to keep this conversation flowing and going on. So guys, one more time I say, please, you can also stream this space live on our YouTube channel. You can stream this space live on our Facebook account, Vawulence_space. You can also follow us across all social media platforms. It is important I lay these ground rules for you guys to understand what we're doing here. And one more time, please, if somebody reached out to me, he said, please, while we're trending hashtags, that there are so many people on the platform that probably want to express their thoughts and do not get the mic on time. That if they could share, you could share your opinions using any of our hashtags. We'll be reading out all those opinions live on the space. Also, if you have any, as I say this all the time, please, Peter, I will always say this: if you think you know everything, all you're an idiot. We are always learning. I'm always open here to learn. I want to learn. I want to listen to people speak. That's why, in fact, I personally just want the space to go on for as long as possible, because when you listen to Nigerians speak, especially obedient speak, you understand that these are the greatest Nigerians, the most intelligent set of people you ever meet are the obedient. So I just sit down and I listen to people give submissions. I hear ideas and everything. So you guys, please, if you think you're that person that cannot speak, you're shy with the mic or something, you can always share your thoughts for us today using any of our hashtags. Today we're trending Abike Gate. We're trending again. We're going back to the basics again. Bola Tinubu committed perjury. We are trending arrest Bola Tinubu now. We are trending broadcast PEPT live. We're just trending some couple of hashtags today. Please, guys, join the conversation, join the trend. When you see those hashtags, retweet the hashtags. If you want to contribute on the platform, make sure behind your contribution, it ends with those hashtags. Let us get our subs trending one more time today. So, guys, as I always say, thank you, my brother Otumba. Thank you for the time. Thank you, N6. I don't know why N6 is not up here, but I think he should join us any minute from now. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you to whole Vawulence team behind the scene that are doing amazing work to bringing up, doing so much. We're doing so much behind the scene. I don't even, most times I'm just like, okay. In due season, what you guys are doing will be out there. You guys are the heroes of this movement. Thank you guys for always sticking with us. Thank you, the whole Obedient family, for joining us. This is one big family. Thank you to all those that are crashing their spaces to come and join us on this platform today. Thank you so much. I can keep going on with the Thanksgivings, but I see all of you are big handles. I see all of you. I'm not that person. Probably if Jimmy comes up later, he's going to give you guys a shout out. I will give you guys a shout out at the end of the space for all those that are patient enough to sit at the end of the space. But you guys know how much we had you guys on the platform. Thank you for always coming out. Thank you for always sticking with us. We are about to press some next. So if you're ready to press some next, can I see some emojis in the platform now? If you're ready for neck pressing, if you're ready to sit on somebody's neck, let me see emojis. If not, we'll just continue talking. If I see like 5 or 10 emojis, then I'll start pressing neck. If not, we'll go back to basics. Can I see emojis? Am I being listened? Okay, yeah. So we're pressing next. Oh yeah. Let me charge. Let me ginger now. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Let me something happens. Platform. If they crash this space a million times, we'll come back a million and one times. So please, in case they come with their nonsense again and they crash this, because what we're going to say today is going to touch. There will be surplus. There will be surplus dead bodies. Yeah. So please, in case they come and attack it, we'll be back again. So do not forget that and keep with the program. Please, guys, I need you guys retweet the space, share the space. I don't know why we should have over 500 people and we have about just 100 and something retweets. It's not fair now. Eh? It's not fair. Why will you come to this church and you not donate offering? You not give offering. You not pay tithes and you want Emir's blessings. You want the blessing of the church. Eh? And pay your tithes, pay your offerings. Don't be stingy. Don't be greedy. Before from next Saturday, I'll start releasing curses. If you don't retrieve the space, I will curse you. I will curse you because you like you come here to hear me curse Tinubu and the rest. You like hearing us come and drag this people. I will drag you if you don't retrieve the space, please. Oh yeah. All right, guys, let's jump into the conversation today. You know, while I was preparing for the space earlier on today, I reached out to N6 and we're discussing, and I said, bro, how far you see today? We had topics we want to discuss. Nigeria every day is a topic. Every day there's something to talk about in this country. There's always something to talk about. Unfortunately, like we said on the last space, where we try to hold the media accountable, the media have not stood up to be counted. Unfortunately, they have not stood up to be counted. They have instead they have made their beds with our oppressors. They have made their bed with the people that have kept Nigeria in captivity. They have made their beds and decorated it with brown envelopes. So I will always take a chance to take a shot at the media. And with that, also, I say thank you to all those that reached out to me to volunteer to join us in the new media we're creating. And we still need volunteers. If you're a writer, if you think you're good at writing, if you're an aspiring journalist, you want to write, you have things you feel like we can take this country to the next level. We are building, I dare say, the strongest team of journalists for the next era. So please, if you think you can write, if you want to volunteer, whatever resources you think you can join to help us, please reach out to us. We need all the support. Thank you to the graphic designers reaching out already. Please, though, we don't have money to pay for this one, so all these volunteers. And please, we just need Nigerians that really want to work, Nigerians that want to report real news. We are creating a platform, a medium, because I'm saying this in the eventuality whereby, um, God forbid it, let's say this evil man gets sworn in or something, and the next days you start hearing the first news you're hearing, his abada today is black, his abada tomorrow is blue. Nobody's going to be holding this man responsible. It is us that we have to be calling out the real news. We have to do the real job. So please, when I say volunteers for writing, well, I mean people that can go out, that can also source for news. We have news scattered around the internet. We have news everywhere. But the problem is, who are those people that are highlighting the news? Which people are pushing out those news? We are about to form that team of people. So please, look at this as an opportunity for you to join a movement that will help highlight the news that Nigerians will be hearing going forward. So please join us, contribute, be a stakeholder in this new Nigeria, this new media we're building on the violence space. Reach out to me in the DMs. I need more volunteers. I need more volunteers. Honestly, we need more volunteers. So please reach out to us in the DM and be ready to work hard. That is the most important thing. All right, guys. I think today's space, the topics are very clear written. There's nothing ambiguous about what we're about to discuss today. It is just straight to the point topics. And I say this all the time. Please, when you come up here to discuss, you must not talk on all the topics, because I see some people that come up here and they say, they will now read the topic: Abike SudanGate, PDP boys scam Atiku, LP petition. Then do not enter their own conversation. No, 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 no. When you come up here, if the one that's with you to discuss, that's why we have lots of topics. If the one that's in your heart to discuss is Abike SudanGate, focus on it. If you can discuss the truth within 5 minutes, fine and good. But if you know that you can just do justice to one, please focus on that one and do justice to it for us. All right, guys. I woke up today and I said I reached out to my brother and sisters, and we had this conversation about the topics. And while we were discussing, I now thought about this whole Abike Gate. We talked about it briefly in our last piece. When she came against a young Nigerian and asked them question. And we all saw how she attacked the person and finally lied. Because I saw that guy's tweet. And I was not looking for, because when she had a rebuttal. I think she was responding to Dr. Ope, and she now told him that he should mind his business. How can if somebody come and call her a shawo on social media? And once you drew out that Ashawo card, I now sat back and I was like, I'm not going to reply to this one because the next thing is gender shaming, this and that. The next thing you lose sight of the conversation and you're talking something different. And I kept quiet. But I now saw the guy rebuttal and the guy was like, I never called you man an Ashawo. I never said anything like that. And I had to go and check for the guy's tweet and I did not see that. And I saw a classic evil satanic woman's game. When you hold somebody responsible, when you hold her responsible for something, she finds the nearest thing that, because you know that when you throw this card out, everybody will lose focus from what you have been accused for and join to disparage or call out the person that presumably insulted you and called you a shawu. So it's just exactly that that put it out. False accusations. That's exactly what she did to that young man. And the young man was saying, show me, man, where did I call you an Ashawo? For those that are not on the platform that are foreign to the word Ashawo, please use your Google there. I'll not translate it for you. Please just use Google and check what is Ashawo, and you know what it means. And I saw that move that other woman made, and I was like, well, we kept quiet, and Nigerians called her out rightfully so, as we always do. But my greatest problem is what APC has done to this country. That public office holders don't understand what it means to be public office holders. That they don't understand that when you're a public office holder, you do not come into your office or to your work with your emotions. That Nigerians pay you with their taxpayers' money. So therefore, whether in Nigeria come into your office, there's something that saying they say, customers are always right. That customers are always right. If there's any place it is being that it must be implemented most, is in public office. As a public servant, that's why you're called public servant. It is not private. You're not a private servant. You are not making money. We pay you money. Nigerian taxpayers pay you money. And if you say Nigerians don't pay tax, Nigerian resources pay you money. You are being paid for the resources of this country, of which every single Nigerian is a stakeholder. You don't like the person's name, you don't like the person's political affiliation, you don't like the person's face, you don't like the person's gender, you don't like the person's religion or beliefs. As long as you're a public officer, you are underneath the public. When they criticize you, if they curse you, if they insult you, you can simply unlook. It is not difficult to unlook. In fact, if somebody trolls you, the greatest thing you can do to a troll is to even avoid, don't act like you don't even see the person. Because the moment you respond to that person, you give that person traction. That's exactly what Abike did. And now wanted to victim blame because he has a loud mouth and feel like you are stealing the public money and nobody can talk to you. And while we were discussing on our space on Tuesday, that was when I think Jimmy came up and said, they have released money, and they have released money because we're calling them out on Tuesday for leaving Nigeria stranded. And all of a sudden, they released money. And we are hearing that they released $1.2 million. That's approximately 150 million naira, if not above that. And I'm thinking, I'm like, over 150, is it that they're using it to buy bus? Do they want to buy new buses that will chauffeur these people, or is to hire bus? And they say it's to hire buses that will take Nigerians from Sudan to Egypt. I don't even want to know the distance. Probably it's 2 continents away. Okay, we know that there's nobody that would have seen that contract that would have known that it's not inflated first. We all knew. But let's give them the benefit of doubt. We said no wahala. Make una inflate them. Make una steal, because I made a tweet earlier and I said APC have understood. They turn every crisis. There is no crisis APC that have gotten to APC. There is nothing that is a crisis that APC have that has reached APC that APC not turn and find. How can we steal? How can we loot from this crisis? How can I make this crisis now that I will make money? For an APC politician, a politician under APC, it is always Omo, CEO, Nigerians are dying here. Make we loot funds. How do we make money? Out of subsidy, you're stealing. Out of Nigerian flooding, there is nothing that has happened to Nigerians that APC will not find a means to steal. And we allow this woman and her NEMA people, or I don't know how much they have stood that they have put joint hands together to steal 150 million. I don't know how much they shared it. And she came out today and said they were loading Nigerians into the bus by state and capital. Abia, Umaya, Akwa Ibom, Oyo, Anambra, Oka, Bauchi, Omo. That you will come out and you will stand in front of us and ask you, what is your name? What is your local government? What? And I'm like, are you for real? Nigerians are stranded, and the first thing that comes to people's mind is state of origin. You guys have taken your division to the point of people in distress. Let not even say that there are people from Niger Republic that are claiming to be Nigerians that want to join those buses. Where is your humanity? Where is your humanity that we are accusing Ethiopia blocking Nigerians from entering Ethiopia? Then let us claim that your own wickedness is that you want to make sure it is only Nigerians so that are entering your buses. The people that want to disguise as Nigerians to enter your buses, are they not human beings? In a distress situation, you guys have to break it down for state and capital. So when I look at this party called APC and I see the games that they have been playing with Nigerians, honestly speaking, sometimes I just want to explode. And when I made my tweet earlier on today, so many people, it's just amazing how we have, as a people, we have now normalized how we can just turn even the worst of situations. We find a way to laugh about it. We are that amazing. We are that amazing. And I think that's one special gift that we have that probably politicians have overused. Somebody reached out to me and he said, Sirdam, you know that the money, and sorry, before I even go into this one, we're not talking about state and capital. Next thing, a video came out this afternoon. I saw Jimmy posted the video. I saw a couple of people posted the video. Our brothers and sisters stranded in the middle of the desert, shouting, screaming. Probably I'll play that video here for people to listen. They have abandoned us. They have left us in the middle of nowhere. We don't even know where we are. Blah, 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 blah. The driver said they will not go again, that they have not paid them. You released money on Tuesday. You hired buses. Nigerians entered that bus. You started that journey of no return, only for them to get to the middle of the desert and the driver said, we are not going anymore. And when I saw that video, that was one that broke my heart. I was like, my God. Where these people, they carry us go? What is your excuse as a government that even in the fact that we can openly see that this is an inflated contract, you cannot even steal and say, make we pay people who won't work for us. They strike. That nature of Nigerian APC government, that you must strike everything. Everything must be contentious. There must be, you just can't do something and do it well. Even steal. Even the one that you guys are good at, are professional criminals. You cannot steal well. You had to make, someone now reached out and said, Sirdam, okay, that's why I'm coming to the Twitter. Someone reached out, someone say, probably those drivers, as we're taking them, one of those Nigerians in Sudan asked the guy, Oga, una cash out to 150 million and $1.2 million, and they put out to carry us like this. The man say, 1.20 for where? Say that $600 they pay also. Then make a pack bus for a center of bush, center of desert, that park, and I know, we're going to go again. Because it is crazy me driving people, and I hear that, I mean, it's concept now for our country. I can't carry that for my motor, my bombs, and the air bombs, they fly everywhere. Twice. That can talk, say, person can tell me, say, they pay you. Let me use the Nigerian money now. They pay you 3.5 million for this journey. And instead, you pay me 35,000. Make I die if I move my bus again. You must increase my money. That is exactly the tip. What happened be that? You use bus drivers cash out in a generation of internet users. You see, APC they are so monologue in their thinking that they think this is 1932. You think that this is 1932, that whatever you steal, you just steal and nothing will happen. Nobody can fact check you. Nobody can bring you to the notice of people. You just believe that make we use these drivers cash out. As we cash out the drivers, nothing goes up. They don't go here. In a generation of tech savvy, even the ones that they come out and say 80% of our people are not using mobile phone. It's a lie. Go to Arewa TikTok and see what's happening. Go and see what is happening. All the people that came out to throw the videos of what's happening in Sudan, it's not our Muslim brothers. You think they will not see that cash out and show to the drivers? Come and speak it for them in Arabic. See, oh. So you can see that these people are so myopic. And that's why today I said today we're going to spend special time on Abike Darabi, Abina Dabiri, Abina Ndokubo, whatever her name is. Today we'll give us more attention. Today we'll make her understand that you cannot be a thief and be loud-mouthed. You cannot be stealing our commonwealth and be rubbing it on our face. If you want to be a thief, steal like your fellow thieves and hide. There should be no proud thief. You should be ashamed of stealing from Nigerians, and you now have the guts and effrontery to rub it on our faces like you're doing us a freaking favor. Ma, you're stealing from us. We are giving you opportunity to be a thief. We allow you to steal. You're not going to steal. Come on, they rub on our face like say we don't get sense. And in Nigeria, we tell you something in the comment section, you not come and insult the person, curse him, do this, do that. Man, no. This is not NTA channels. This is not NTA News at 10. This is your reality. And that is why I am so angry with these satanic people in APC. And their stooges and their supporters. In the course of my whole stuff, one of my brother Olawaski sent me. He said, "You see, I in the course of this whole 10 months, APC have tried to make so many of us lose our humanity. So I now understand why so many of us are nonchalant about so many things, including what has happened these past few days. Nigerians are we're not losing our humanity, our essence of brotherliness. Let me use the right word. That Olawaski reached out to me and said, Sirdam, you see that even if it is, no matter what, he doesn't freaking care if those people in Sudan, he doesn't care about them, that you see these people support Atiku, that these same people that support Tinubu. And in the space of a few minutes, he sent me posts, you see, that one of the people that is trapped in Sudan is even a Tinubu supporter. And I laughed and I was like, see, let us try our best. I'm saying this to draw all of us our attention that please, we should try. It is difficult. It is difficult. It is the most difficult part of it is even when you're right, you have to say sorry. That is the most difficult part of humanity. When you know that you are right on something, but you have to apologize. When you know that you are right on something, but you have to be the big brother. It is so difficult, but we, the Obedient Movement, will exemplify the big brotherhood of Nigeria. Please, when people are down and out, I will always forever hold political grudges. I'm not telling you not to hold political grudges. I'm not telling you to come out here and drag people that are in power. But please, let us not, in the midst of doing what we are doing, lose our humanity. I beg. Many people did that war torn zone. If you can help, if you can amplify their sorrows, you do it. One for all for one. All right, guys, I think before I jump into I'm going to allow you guys to come and do more justice on this Abike woman, because honestly speaking, I really think we have to we must trend Abike SudanGate today, please. So everybody, if you're in the comment section, do not just comment, please. Comment section, the Church of Comment Section, Vawulence, the choir ministry, because you people are the choir. Now, want to be choir. When I wait there, our comment section, you people are our choristers. Our choristers on the comment section, please, while you're singing your hymns, your beautiful hymns I love to come back and listen or read, because your hymns are what I always come back and read after our spaces. Please make sure you back up your hymns with what do you call it? Auto tune it with Abike SudanGate, hashtag Abike SudanGate at the end of it, or broadcast PEPT live, or Bola Tinubu committed perjury, because that is why we're going back on the LP petitions today, or arrest Bola Tinubu now. The man is back in Nigeria. He left Nigeria slim. He came back with pot belly. Glory be to God. So, guys, let me jump into Mikano Boys. I think I've seen enough on Madam Abike. Let me allow that one. You will come up and do the rest. I woke up yesterday, and in the bag, boys of in the bag boys. In the bag boys came out and they were now showing thread how Atiku was betrayed by the South, how Southerners betrayed Atiku, despite Atiku all his political life, running to the South and making and feeling and separating himself from his northern brothers, alienating himself from his northern brothers, and associating with the Southerners. And at the one time he needed the Southerners failed him. You know, this is what we call revisionism of politics. This is what we call, as in projection, projecting who you are. And we're just about to, before I will open, because we open a whole lot of tables today of how they scammed that man into billions. PDP were data boys. Many of them are online. And I'm happy you guys saw how they embarrassed one of themselves last week in Anthony, a very young gentleman, but he came out here that once believed in Peter, and came out and said they embarrassed him in public. That is what that party does. The party the party is a party that is they do not deserve your sympathy or pity. That party called PDP. And Atiku as a person, I'm saying this so that Nigerians do not forget, because we always forget. There is a reason why our politicians always take us handicap, because we as a people, we always forget. David Zunde always say we do not read. That's why in reporting the news, all you just need to do is just to frame one headline, and in the headline, they know that they're just not going to read the body content of that work. They always know this. What data boys are trying to rephrase and reshape history now very before. They are trying to tell us that in a polarized, in a highly multi-ethnic society like Nigeria, in a duly divided country along religious lines, that a Hausa Fulani Muslim candidate should take over power from a Hausa Fulani Muslim candidate from Buhari to Atiku. And that Nigerians, especially Southern Nigerians, should do nothing about it. That we should support that cause, because power truly and only deserves to be in the north. That's exactly the politics Atiku and PDP played. That the South cannot produce a president. And that despite how much I hate or I dislike or I've called out Wike, even though I know that Wike was fighting for his personal selfish agenda, you could resonate with what he was saying. Because in a country like Nigeria, it is important. And that's why we condemn both PDP and APC tickets. Those tickets do not represent the ideals of Nigeria. Power is meant to move from one side to the other for balance. If you do, I do. If I do, you do. You don't do and want to keep doing, and you expect the other part of the half to feel okay with you. It doesn't work that way. So they're trying to come in right now and change the whole narrative that the South did not support Atiku is a lie from the pit of hell, and we will challenge and make sure we keep this, because history will be what they're trying to rewrite history. They're trying to rewrite history so that in our very before, the narrative will change and make Atiku, the villain, become the victim. Atiku had no business contesting for the elections. Power had to return back to the South. Why did they all gang up to take out Jonathan Goodluck in 2015? Why did people like Atiku leave PDP? Saraki leave PDP? Dino Melaye leave PDP? And all those NPDP governors, Tambuwal and the co. Kwankwaso, why did they leave PDP in 2015? It was because power was meant to go back to the North. That's what they said. And they went and formed an alliance with the devil. And power went back to the North. Then after 8 years of power being the North, Atiku now says he wants to continue from power. That is, he wants us to have 16 uninterrupted years of power staying in the North. And Nigerians will say, okay. And good news and bad news I have for you people. When Peter reclaims his mandate, by the special grace of God, when we get back our mandate, 2027 is Antenna 2027. In case people have not seen the poster, please, I will post it up here for you people. 2027 is Antenna 2027. Atiku and Speed Darlington 2027. Whether people like it or not. Then I heard 2031. Atiku and Odumeje in Daboski. Atiku will be running till he runs to his grave. He will run till he runs to his grave. Eh? Because the old man has failed to understand that for every time and season, if your time has passed, your time has passed. The time of Atiku to become president, it can never happen anymore. So in the bag, boys, all you in the bag boys, Kogi in the bag, Anambra in the bag, Kaduna in the bag, Kanu in the bag, all you in the bag boys that have scammed this man billions, that I heard one of you had to go and buy a house of over 500 million in Abuja from campaign funds. Don't worry, 2027 is here. Baba is going to release funds again because that marabout that told him that he must rule Nigeria is still running mental on his head. No wahala. We did here. I'm going to end up with an article right now and jump into my sister, the LP petition. The LP petition, I brought up my sister. I had to invite her because she has been doing an amazing job. Guys, if you're not following the distinguished general, our general in the army of the obedient army, you are missing. She has been doing massive breakdowns on her timelines about our petition. So I think I'm going to give her like 10, 20 minutes, if possible 30 minutes, that she's going to go on with the petition. I invited actually one of the lawyers, and they say they're not going to do that. We should not discuss about our reply yet on public forums because there's why. If not, our lawyer would have joined us today. But all what she's going to discuss now are things that are on public display. We're going to have that conversation on the platform. So, guys, today promised to be a very wonderful and entertaining space. And I indulge all of you on the platform. Share the space one more time. Retweet the space. Let people know that the #1 space on Twitter is up and running. And we are administering the gospel of violence today. And it will touch everybody. Woto. So, please, guys, make sure you're trending with the hashtag. Make sure you're tweeting the hashtag as you're on the conversation. If you're up on the comment section and you don't want to tweet, you don't want to speak, or you're shy of speaking, or the mic does not get to you on time, please use those hashtags. I just put it up on the Jumbotron. Use those hashtags and make tweets for us. We must make sure that tonight Abike opens her phone and she see Abike SudanGate trending. And before I forget, APC carry Nigerians trabaye. Before I yield this mic to Otumba and SC. SC, thank you, welcome. APC carry Nigerians trabaye. APC went and borrowed 800 million naira for subsidy. APC borrowed dollars. Sorry. Hey, God have mercy. APC of Buhari. See, if Buhari and his cabinet does not end up in jail in this lifetime, go, no. After borrowing 800 million and sharing it and dispersing these funds, they have stolen that money already and shared it. They now come out and woke up to and say, NEC suspend subsidy. So they're expecting the next government to come in to start borrowing. Borrow from where? From who? And how? I say the template APC this government is keeping for the next government. I am honestly, I am afraid for Nigeria. I don't come out here and share fears. But I am honestly, the future of that country after June is so bleak. And that's why I'm saying that. Hi, I don't talk with I won't talk. Because if I talk with I won't talk. Okay. Let me keep it like that. My brother N6, welcome. Otumba, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I think you go first. Let me allow you go first, and N6 can join us up in the conversation. But guys, please retweet the space one more time. Share the space. As I always say, please join this conversation. Otumba, you can come in, please. You can come in.
Yeah, good evening, Sirdam, N6, Distinguished Marshal, Jimmy, Joel, Yusuf Maxwell. Yes, I mean, Sirdam, I swear you took so many words out of my mouth. Some of my submission, I was like, bro, you are you looking at my phone? But I think there's a key part that I just wanted to touch on before I pass it back to N6. Because I know N6 has loaded submissions for us. It's when you talked about what's going on in Sudan. See, there's something APC. Yesterday on Court of Public Opinion. Joel Gozi and Archie Space. We touched on education, like basically institutions APC has successfully killed. There's something APC is killing, which is what we're in Nigeria. APC is starting to kill the human side, the empathy in us, to where, like you said, and I thought about it a lot, because I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, when I see tragedy and it's not Southern Kaduna or people that I feel like lean obedient. Like the way I feel towards them is not the same. Like it's like whatever. These people they are supporting the government. But then I think about it, I'm like, man, we can't even feel for our own fellow country people anymore. Like APC is gradually taking away that human side, that empathy, where you just feel like, you know what, okay, wait, yeah, me and this person, or whether based on ignorance, tribalism, stupidity, whatever you call it, we are on different sides of the aisle, which, at the end of the day, people have a right to choose or who they want to vote for, who they want to represent them. It's their choice. But, like, I know we don't wish them ill or evil, but we almost get to a point where something evil happens and we're like, well, lessons are getting learned. And I'm like, wait a minute, these are people's lives that are dying. And the perfect example is this Sudan case where, certain religion from certain region. But then I'm thinking to myself, yeah, whatever, we don't understand their personal life, their experiences that might have guided them to select a particular choice. But no one wants to get trapped in war. Like nobody. Like there's nothing like how I explain it. Nothing fun about getting trapped in war. These people are trapped in a war zone, and a sitting government is using them to cash out. It's using people's kids, people's lives. Not all of them, they are, would I say, leaning towards APC or whatever, but they are still human beings that, regardless of, whatever, political affiliations they have, that doesn't mean they are not still human beings. And APC is gradually taking that away from us. They are snuffing where it's hard to, you get news from certain states of certain region, and it's like, they deserve it now. Maybe that's what they elected for. I'm like, no. APC was rejected at the polls. If we think about it, APC no get reach 4 million votes for this election. Like, so like APC, now, not everybody voted for Obi or whatever, but if you look, if you go behind, look at IRF, even IRF numbers, APC was rejected at the ballot. So I just hope we don't lose our humanity and our empathy and, understand that, yes, while we have people that have varying political opinions or whatever, these people are still humans. They're not the APC in government. APC selected, they selected themselves, they put themselves in there. These people didn't even vote. Some of them didn't even vote. Some of them sat at home and didn't vote for APC. So And then the Sudan part is the very funny one. Is where, man, I thought I'd seen it all. I'm thinking, you know what, and your analogy on what those that transport companies felt like. You know what? It's like, remember the whole blue railway line or whatever in Lagos, where the Chinese company has a different figure compared to what the Lagos state government is saying is spent on that railway line. Maybe the owners of those transport company also went online and saw, like, wait a minute, they're spending $1.4 million to pay us, when maybe maybe $100,000 these people could give them. Like, you can never say, like. And also, it might actually even be a logistic problem. Like, we don't even, it gets to a point where we can't even trust anything anymore. Like, APC is driving us paranoia where there's nothing. Like, you can't even if that also that issue was some real logistical issue that had nothing to do with money. We have to think otherwise, because APC has programmed us, and their 8 years of indifference makes us think this way. So it's sad. I mean, I just hope we don't, man, because I do it too. I catch myself doing it, and I'm like, I just hope we don't get into that web where we just feel that human side is starting to go away from us, where we're no longer seeing ourselves.
Otumba, it be like say they don't hack your Twitter account.
No.
They don't hack
it's
my
not. No,
account,
Jimmy.
because this one where
It's not about that.
God bless you, Jimmy.
They don't hack.
No, it's not hack.
That, man. Did you see how they kill people during election?
No. See, no, this is what I'm going to. I think we can separate both. You can attack APC. Okay, let me give you an example. So something happens to people in, let me see one APC state now, Ondo or Jigawa. Our mind, tragedy happens. The auto response in our mind now is, well, they selected APC. But I don't think people that are dying selected APC. Because if you look at the election numbers, they did not. Even Jimmy, I'm not saying like, oh, you have a proud APC supporter flaunting stuff, and then not the ones that beg on Twitter. I'm not talking about the one that begs on Twitter, like, or support. No, I'm talking of just when you hear news from a certain region or a certain place or a certain, it's like you have this, well, they deserved it. My brother, maybe they did not. They were Christian, Muslims, Northern Southerners that voted for Peter Obi. There were a lot of them in Borno, in so many of these states. So that's the side I'm saying. I'm not saying, the ones that are begging on Twitter, that one is, whatever. But yeah, but APC is really, man, what APC cannot kill or destroy, man, I'm still yet to find it. There's nothing these people cannot destroy. Well, let me use my mic for now to N6. I know N6 has a little submission. I'll be back.
Thank you very much, Otumba. I'm very sorry, everyone. The last space, I came to the space loaded, but that day we had so many guests at home. It was so loud in the house. So I just stayed in the economy section and played Vawulence space on the loudspeaker. And, sometimes when you're hosting guests, not every time Afrobeats. It led for beautiful discussions in the back end. Thank you so much, guys. I had one space where I was not here, but the submissions were still very intelligent, very well handled. The space was still super interesting. God bless every single one of you. Thank you very much. Let me get into my submission for today. A very beautiful set of pictures came out today with Muhammadu Buhari in them, looking hale and hearty. He was in his military regalia. There was some military event in Abuja. And those pictures excited so many people in the APC. They excited me too as well. Why? Buhari looks hale and hearty enough for prison. You cannot carry a country and destiny of 200 million people. You ran for 12 years. Every year you are the torture of the government in power, running your mouth. You and your guys, Nasiru, the murderous midget of Kaduna, had the most to say during every PDP administration. And then power was handed to this charlatan, Muhammadu Buhari, and look at where he kept Nigeria. Only to get up today and walk around A1, A1 when wearing military gear, F9 in anything that has to do with military and governance. F9, A1 when wearing Babariga, F9 in anything that has to do with governance. And this is a trend. This man is a natural failure.
There are some people in every movement, there are some people in every friendship circle that we all know should never be leaders. Never. They might talk the talk, walk the walk, but they don't have the temperament, the spirit, and even the demeanor for leadership. We've had them in several facets, even in this movement. So, this is the same problem we are facing. The impunity of Muhammadu Buhari is what we are going through in this country today. You have a situation where government officials will come online and insult Nigerians. You have a situation where APC government officials somehow do not realize that they are working for obedience, for PDP, and for their fellow APC members. I don't get it. I don't understand whether they don't get this fact. I don't know whether they don't get that fact. You wake up every day, you're either being insulted by Abike Dabiri, the head of the Diaspora Commission, or you're being insulted by another idiot called Prince Moye, spokesman for the police, or you're being insulted by another idiot from in another sphere of governance, or you're being, it's a barrage on the Nigerian people. So, to go to where Otumba was saying, I coined a phrase called sympathy fatigue because that is how I felt. I felt tired of being sympathetic for issues that were not mine. But when I Googled it, I thought I had made a novel discovery. But when I Googled it, I found out that there's actually something called empathy fatigue. Now, empathy fatigue is something that is mostly suffered by people who work in the mental health sector. Why? You're in a job where you're forced to listen to the problems of the world, offer solution, think about them, marinate them in your mental, go back and try and give them a solution, give them a medical tablet solution, something. It can get overwhelming. Sadly, Nigerians as a nation is going through empathy fatigue. I don't understand how this happened because the APC has so overwhelmed us with bad news that as a Nigerian, you have to actually compartmentalize what goes into your head. You are human. You cannot have your family problems, have your aged parents, have your suffering family members who have not left poverty, have your own family, your wife, your siblings, your children, and then you are bothered about the North, the West, Benue State, Southern Kaduna, an ineptitude in governance, a useless president, a drug dealing incoming. You're just bothered by so many things. So I don't blame the average Nigerian if he says, fuck it, which is where we all are right now. I put up a post without fear or favor. I said, first of all, you're in Sudan. You claim to be a university graduate. You're in the middle of a war-torn country. And the best way to tell the world about what you're going through is in Hausa. It has never made any sense to me. Pardon me for a northerner who is one of those people who feels, touched anytime your region is discussed. But I think it's absolute stupidity to be addressing your situation when you need help from the entire world and the knowledge of the world towards your issue to be addressing it in Hausa. You can have that, but at least get a spokesperson. Because imagine if the Ukrainian crisis had happened and the students in Ukraine were calling for help from the Nigerian government in Edo language, in Igbo, in Yoruba. Who would have understood who? And it's also very, very... This is where the empathy fatigue steps in. In a highly tribally and religiously bigotedly polarized election, when you see things like that, I don't understand Hausa. So I don't understand the gravity of what is happening in Sudan. You cannot blame me. I don't. I see the stories from what's happening in Sudan. And I promise you, they fly by me. I understand it's serious. But until I see people show me that in English, I don't really get the story. And this is the problem we talk about with Nigeria. Empathy fatigue sets in for me over this Sudan issue. It has nothing to do with tribe. It has nothing to do with religion. It just has to do with how the message was passed. Now you have Abike Dabiri. Abike Dabiri, you are meant to help. They started an agenda. Let us not forget that last 2 weeks, Abike Dabiri was trying to deflect when the APC messed up in one of their numerous gaffes to remember. And she started congratulating one lady that won something in 2019. This happened 2 weeks ago. Abike Dabiri is a diabolical, lying, disrespectful, criminal member of the APC. And I say this with my chest. The facts are there. This woman, you deceived Nigerians for several years. I always tell people, you see the way Nedu is my colleague, but you see the way he's embarrassing himself in the media. It is sad because many people, when they are given a script to read, you don't know their personality till they are forced to come out and speak of their own accord. Then you start knowing what they have in their hearts. Abike is embarrassing the media once again. Yes, on the last space, people were giving props to the media and to journalists in this movement. And you guys did not even give me my props. Do you know how many exposes? No, do you know that the people were calling journalists and media? And I was like, N6, I was in media for 15 years at the highest level. I've done several exposes, but maybe because I do it on violence space, you people don't get.
You know, they say a prophet is not.
It's not
honored in his. You're in the church. Please, you deserve all your flowers, my brother. You deserve all your flowers. Honestly,
I single-handedly am the reason this whole electoral cycle became fact and Google based, because that was all I projected from day one. If you cannot show it to me with verifiable facts and figures, throw it in the bin. And that was where Peter Obi started leading in this election. In any other country in the world, I would have had a Google endorsement by now. Any other country in the world. What I've done for Google in this election. But there are some things, like I said, there are some of us who, it's our destiny to walk, because we don't come to this job to look for invitations and props. So that's just me giving myself my own flowers. Now, moving forward, when we get to Abike and this Sudan matter, like Sirdam said, the APC never seizes an opportunity to fleece the Nigerian populace. They never stop. I reminded you people that we already owe 77 trillion naira, and that is without checking on the CBN debts. That 77 trillion did not factor in the $800 million the Buhari government just finessed the IMF for. And I also remind you that nobody will come and save us, neither the Americans, the British, nor the IMF, because these guys are criminals. It will not shock me if the IMF knew that this subsidy, or China, they knew this subsidy would be postponed, because I remember that the agency fee for the disbursement of the $800 million was about $50-something million. So who says that they didn't know that they'll call
100
was about $100 million? God bless you. So who said that these people didn't know that look? This subsidy was a pitfall that they set for Peter Obi because they knew Peter Obi was going to win the election. It was a pitfall they set for Peter. You collect inauguration May 29, fuel goes to 800 naira June 1. Now that they think their impunity is having some small legway, they now want to remove subsidy small. Let Tinubu shine for the 2 months before the Supreme Court removes the mandate from his hand. Because I will tell you, I don't add by the grace of God or anything in my statements. The mandate will be collected from Bola Ahmed Tinubu and nothing will happen. I keep telling you people this thing because maybe some people feel, there is this part of the north that will get up and start killing Igbos or nothing will happen. Nothing. The mandate will be collected from PICC line and nothing will happen. Nothing. The highest person that will riot is Longinus El Rufai, the Giraffe, and Bashir Ahmed. I believe those are the only 2 people that will protest naked in Abuja. Nothing will happen. Nothing. Who will protest? Who?
Estes, please. My network is shaking. I know you say Longinus
El Rufai. The only human giraffe on record in Nigeria. If I had a neck like that, I wouldn't be sticking my neck into anything. I'd go and find a bow tie that fits. Those boys just come, run their mouth on spaces, run their mouth as if they are anything. Non-performers, down to their father. Anyway, let's move on. So Abike Dabiri finessed the Nigerian government. This is a silly lady that went as far as tweeting, "Oh, the richest Nigerian, the richest person in Sudan is a Nigerian." When she tweeted that thing, there's some things that occur to me. I say, let me not come out and give certain prophecies because I have a tendency to be very right, especially when you use facts and figures. When Abike made that statement, I said, if Nigerians are transported by bus, the bus will be stopped in the middle of the desert, and we'll be lucky if those students will not be kidnapped or they will request for more money. Because when you're stupid enough to make that kind of statement, you will be fleeced. And I was not shocked. The bus was stopped in the middle of the road. Now, I don't understand why I'm seeing another payment document that shows that 150 million was transferred via Jai's bank to some name for transportation of citizens, when we are hearing it was $1.5 million that was approved. Also, somebody came out and there was a sentiment about how people are attacking Abike Dabiri. Please bear in mind and remember that there are about 42 to 44 ministerial positions in this country. The same ministerial posts have what they call state ministers. So under that ministerial post, there are about 42 to 44 state ministers of the same ministry. That's why the Minister for Employment is in Ngige. State Minister for Employment is also Sandalili Keyamo. So now, people come and say, why do we attack Abike the most? There is a minister for Foreign Affairs called Geoffrey Onyema. You would never see Geoffrey Onyema online talking shit, running his mouth, engaging in partisan politics, cooking up mandate songs for political season. You would never see Geoffrey Onyema in tribal fights online, or you'll never see Geoffrey Onyema bothered about somebody that has less than 100 followers, literally replying someone with 83 followers. So you rarely get insults sent to Geoffrey Onyema. True or false? But when somebody whose job is beneath Geoffrey Onyema wants to raise herself, the millipede sees itself as a buffalo. The millipede will then face buffalo problems. All Abike Dabiri has to do is be respectful. She doesn't even have to come to Twitter, and she can open a burner account, tweet hate and tribalism with her burner account. Nobody would ever disturb Abike Dabiri. But as long as you remain a public servant, and the stupid thing about these people is they don't understand that their salaries are being paid by Nigerians. Abike, I pay your salary. You are my house girl. You are my house girl. I can talk to you anyhow I want. The only right you have is to not reply me. But if you reply me, I have the right to woz you. Verbally, not physically. So Abike Dabiri, if Nigerians tell you, what the fuck? Pardon my friend, but if they even use the F word on you, you have the right to not reply. But if you reply somebody asking you, what the fuck are you doing about Sudan? And you reply that person in a condescending fashion, trust me, Abike Dabiri, that person can never be wrong anywhere in the world. You, as the government official, are wrong. I don't know what you're doing in Sudan. I don't know why every day I see pictures of other countries in Sudan with airplanes. But it's Nigeria that is using bus to transfer students. I wish those students knew their rights. I saw that video of them. I saw that desert. I saw that desert. That girl did that video that they were currently stuck in. And I just had to put them in prayers. My empathy fatigue goes very far as an obedience, as an LP supporter. It goes very far. I'm sorry, Otumba. There are some of us, especially as an Igbo from Anambra, for some of us, we feel this pain a bit different. So, as a collective, I can have empathy fatigue for the students of Sudan. But today, one of the students of Sudan tackled Abike Dabiri about what happened in the desert. People were feeling empathy for the young man. But somebody went and brought out his tweets how he had been insulting Peter Obi, insulting obedience. How do I feel empathy for somebody who has called me Obi dog, Obidiot? How do I feel empathy? So I can wish you well. I will never pray that terrorists will catch you people, torture you. I will never pray that you people are left behind in Sudan. But I also hold the prerogative to not give a flaming fuck about that situation, however it ends. Two truths can exist. I'm bothered about what's happening in Israel and Pakistan. I can do nothing about it. So a side of me doesn't really care. I hope they solve their issues. But when I see it on the news, I'm bothered. Two truths can exist. I can be bothered about something while not giving a fuck about it. So that is my balance on SudanGate. When Nigeria is ready and has a government that is ready to look into government spending, you will tell me how with $1.2 million, therefore don't call all the... I don't understand, Shao. Because this Naira now has reached a point where the Naira is now useless. But APC now wants to make dollar sound useless in our ears. I would want to ask Jeffrey Gotterman whether it's $1.2 million enough to transport 5,000 students by bus out of somewhere. Because you people now want to... I lived in America and I know what $10,000 is, 10 bands. I know what $100,000 without paying tax is. I know that an American, you can die at 80 years old and you might never have spent $1 million in your entire lifetime and your life still had value. So I don't get... Nigeria will do you will hear $800 million. It will be sounding like something that cannot solve subsidy problem. But is it not $800 million again? They will tell you that they need $2 billion to count Nigerians. You will now wonder that is this thing not $2 billion again? Abi has $2 billion lost its value because it's being spent in Nigeria? Now let me go to the PDP boys and Atiku. I have always said this. The Nigerian politicians are unintelligent. All of them. All of them. That is why they told us that, we'll teach you people politics. And Peter Obi and Obedience have taught them more politics than they have taught us. We have taught them more politics than they have taught us. Their politics does not pass share money, kill people, snatch ballot box. Shikena. Atiku Abubakar, you have been fighting for Grammy since 1993. The worst part be say, they don't even nominate you for Grammy every year. The problem now your fan base. You go sing song, Shokoloko Bango She, Shokoloko there's no... I don't doubt it. Atiku will run with Speed Darlington because both of them understand what is happening in their music careers. Atiku will sing songs, sing. When Atiku goes on Instagram Live like Speed Darlington, thousands of people come to watch. When he goes for rally, thousands of people come to watch. When he drop video, thousands of people watch. But when he announces his ambition, like Speed Darlington, thousands of people know that he's joking. Dino Melaye, immediately election ended, Dino Melaye launched video of himself with a brand new Rolls Royce in his compound. True or false? What has Dino done in the last 9 months that he will buy Rolls Royce? These people have fleeced Oga Derams. Alhaji Daram fleeced him. I don't understand. You will be Atiku. You get where for this Nigerian political casino, they don't chop your money. Leave the casino now. Leave sports betting. Make sports betting leave you, Atiku. Leave them. Come on hand for waiting no they work for you. There, you check Twitter, and in the bag rained so much. A quick Twitter search of in the bag. SPV boys nearly killed Atiku. Atiku has 11 million votes in the bag. June 2022. July 2022, Obedience are social media keypad warriors. They only have 4 people tweeting in a room. August 2022, Katsina and Kano alone. can give Atiku more votes than the entire Southeast. Kano and Katsina in the bag. September, Kogi, Anambra, and Imo in the bag for Atiku. Ohaneze supports Atiku. Atiku will be the stepping stone to an Igbo presidency. Atiku will be the stepping stone to the southern Nigerian greatness. Atiku is the Messiah. Atiku is holy water. Atiku is everything. October, Peter Obi cannot see 1 million votes. November 2023, Zamfara rally had more people in attendance than all the votes Peter Obi will get in the East. January, Zamfara rally, Jigawa rally. February, the North has aligned. Nobody supports Tinubu in the North. Atiku, the whole North, the conspiracy, the North will get up and shame the two Southern people. Atiku in the North. Oh, but before you know it now, story has changed. His obedience that caused it. Atiku didn't win. Oh, it's Peter Obi that left PDP. If not, Atiku would have won. LP rigged PDP. Oh, Peter Obi left with the soul of PDP. Igbo people, this yesterday, it's Igbo people that are the reason Atiku didn't win. Igbo people, if not the Igbos, Igbo people, aye. Atiku promised the Igbo people that we will be the stepping stone for us for a presidency. And because Igbo people did not support Atiku, Igbo people get ready to suffer. Because Tinubu will not show love to Igbo people. Hey, Igbo people again. Igbo people. Igbo people disturbed APC. Igbo people disturbed Atiku. Igbo people disturbed PDP. Igbo people disturbed the North. Igbo people disturbed the South. Igbo people disturbed South Africa. Igbo people disturb America. Igbo people carry drug. Igbo people do fraud. Igbo people cause election problem. Igbo people split Nigeria. Igbo candidates scatter the country. Igbo people religious war. Only Igbo people. Now we spoil Atiku. I don't understand. We say we no one do stepping stone to how can you be telling trader you want to be? We are not interested in you people's politics. We came out to try this one. If people don't give us Peter Obi, we don't want. They say they want to help people and give all Jews and the rest of them Senate. We say we have done Senate several times. Let it be fair. Give South. But we're the problem of this country. He's still an Igbo man. When I tweeted that this thing you're doing, when we will get into trouble overseas, it's airpeace that will come to the help of Nigerians. I remember people were telling me, there's Asaman Air, there's aero contractors. Do you know how many rich northerners have private jets? Do you know how many jets are in the presidential fleet? Do you know how many jets Dangote has? Do you know how many Yoruba people are in aviation? Somebody sent me that Sakol is owned by this person, Afolabi. Sudan matter don't start to. Where's Azaman Air? It's still airpeace that is suggesting to help. Then Abike still had the guts to say that they will share them according to alphabetical order and state of origin. Abike is by state of origin. You will first remove Abia people first, too. Then you reach Anambra people first, too. So even by state of origin, the tribalism in this country has entered madness levels. You are still talking about state of origin to evacuate people in Sudan. Look, the charade in this country. From our topic alone, you can see that APC failure in Sudan, PDP failure as human beings first. Sadiq Tade and all those idiots. I can't even remember their stupid names because I've blocked them. I've blocked more PDP people than I've blocked APC people. The only people in APC I've blocked is their head honchos. In the bag. Look, Atiku, cut this nonsense out. Stop it. It's no more funny. I have literally watched you age in front of me every election cycle. Just cut it out. Don't let these boys scam you. Atiku, you have almost 100 children and grandchildren if you combine them together. I don't think you have shared $100,000 for all your children. I don't think so. But this SPV voice have chopped money that your generation, you have not kept for your generation. So you can come again. No? Because I promise you in 2027, we in this violent space, we'll collect your money. That your money, we'll collect it because like, it don't have sense. We'll help you collect your money. Come and give violent space. We'll do promo for you. We'll give you 30 minutes. We'll charge you $1 million. We'll share that money by all the 1,000 people on this space. Everybody will get cash up. We'll go share the $100. We'll tell them, say, Atiku is not going anywhere. But maybe help him because even the PDP boys know he's not going anywhere. But they collect his money and his job. So we'll collect his money. Otumba, Sirdam, let's think about this. Because we must collect Atiku's money. We'll collect his money. We'll share it. Distinguished Field Marshal can use that money for research. Who shares money because the PDP boys know that he's not going anywhere. They collect his money. They do a shoddy job. Ayo Ojuwole will collect his money, open space, and co-host space with APC people. Is that one not madness? Is that one not madness? You be PDP person, they co-host space with APC. But you and them, they caught. Madness, Pro Max. The LP petition is a slam dunk. I remind people, there's a first time for everything. When you tell them that, Bola Tinubu will set the record as the first Nigerian president, that the presidency will be removed from his hand. They will start acting up. They will start telling you, oh, when he entered there, nothing. Yeah. And I want to ask, go and ask Ngige for the past questions of what happens in this exam now. Go and ask Oyetola. They've done this for governors. There are governors in this country more powerful than presidents. There's a first time for everything. Bola Tinubu knows this. Why would he be trying to use Lamidi Apapa to fight LP? And the first, Lamidi Apapa is not even fighting LP that he wants control of LP's bank account to go and chop his own money. His own is that he's fighting to become head of LP to go and remove our petition from the court. Why are you removing petition that you know this person came third? He will. In the words of El-Rufai, what much ado about the man that came third? According to them, Atiku came second. I've never heard PDP boys open space to discuss Atiku's petition. We have a whole field marshal. Field marshal sometimes, General Luchi, she will post her house. You can tell that the woman has better things to do. The other day, she posted her patio. I think they were fixing her balcony. That one alone is enough for me to leave LP and Nigeria Matter. She's in the US. We take her to be going through petition. Is she being paid? No. But she has taken her time to go through the LP petition. But you would never see PDP boys hold space to go through Atiku's petition. This is where we are right. This is where we hold APC for blockers. Atiku paid almost 13,000 naira for that petition. They have never read that petition. But Peter Obi's 5,000 naira petition, we have done about $5 million worth of breakdown on that petition. I tweeted the other day, I said, is it that Atiku's petition is not sweet? Because I don't see any energy from PDP to show that their petition has energy. Yesterday, Channels Television, Atiku added the Guinea passport case to his reply to the APC petition. Channels Television put up a false flag narrative to the headline of that Atiku's reply. It took David Hundeyin to still call out that false headline. But PDP idiots, anything Peter Obi's face, I read it. But PDP boys could not come out and say, this is not what our guy is saying in this statement. Channels Ogungo Kiluna. It still took David Hundeyin and obedience. Look, PDP, cancel this. This on a party, just end them. End them. Let people have 13 governors and this. Just end this charade of a party. This thing you people are doing is not a political party. It's a Boy Scout. You people should be sharing cookies. You are better off as activists. PDP, leave this opposition thing. LP and the obedient movement has taken over. Just leave it. Leave it for us. The fact that your governors were obediently sheriff, obediently Mba, obediently this, and you still think PDP exists? What is the youth wing of PDP's movement called? At least I know the Jaga Bandits Army and the Young Criminal Statesmen Cartel. What is the PDP? What is PDP called? Umbrella Corp. What are you people called? What is your movement called? People, democratic power. Power to the people. Share the money. Finish. Ndioshi. At this point, I am happy. I will end my submission with this. First, happiness. Muhammadu Buhari is strong and healthy. for prison that he will face when he leaves Asurok. If Buhari does not face prison for how he handled the NNPC in 8 years, while we have no refinery, he will face prison for the money policy, and why till today we cannot see both the old notes and the new notes. Buhari will face prison for how he handled Boko Haram that he promised to technically defeat in 6 months. Buhari will face prison for why everything in Nigeria is times 5, 6, 7 in some instances. He will face prison for why he closed the border and a lot of other stupid, bull-headed economic policies that tend to impoverish and kill Nigerians. He will face prison for a lot of things. I am happy to see him hale and hearty. I, personally, am happy. I'm happy to see that he's still militarily strong enough, because he shows that he'll be strong enough to trek from his cell to dinner to the dining hall and back. He will not miss it. The impunity, the madness that he put this country in. He will tell me whether, is it like this Jonathan left Nigeria for you? Is it like this Jonathan left Nigeria? Is this like this Jonathan left this country for you? Abike Dabiri, I don't know what you are gunning for. They say they are gunning for Minister of Foreign Affairs or whatever you are gunning for. You and I know you are way out of your head in this position. You have neither the physical, emotional, nor mental temperament to be in anything near ambassadorial or diaspora or any such work. So whoever carries you, there's a triangular peg and puts you inside a rectangular hole, that one concerns the person. You're already out of your depth in the current job you are doing. I can imagine you in any other position. Obviously, it's a joke. You and Loretta Onoche are in the same IQ capacity as far as I'm concerned. You are better off as a Vuvuzela. You are better off as a Tinubu. When Tinubu wants to go for an event, you go and help. That's what you are doing during rally. You sweep the carpet, you check the mic. Those are the things that's your real calling. I don't know what you are doing in all this soda, everything, collecting insults from small children. Go to your real calling, forming fascist chants on your mandates. Those are your callings. Go there. Leave this thing for people who are really in the civil service for years. PDP boys, well done. I hope many of you bought good houses, spend your money well. Atiku from time no get sense. Lion of Jada don't they play us many of his videos. Now just to thief where sabi. Thief. He doesn't know when he's being stolen from. He knows how to steal, but he doesn't know when he's being stolen from. So, PDP boys, well done. Please, 2027, encourage him to come again. You can see Tinubu, even if Atiku has PICC line in 2027 inside his body, encourage him, but please bring some money for us in Vawulence space. We have a nice platform. We know
I beg, we don't want to. I beg, please.
We will share it for the people. It's our money. It's Nigeria's money. When he was selling Transcorp and all those things for billions, we don't
want. I beg.
Let them bring. We go share him. He won't go anywhere. I'm just cracking up, Sha, but that's the honest truth. Fuck him and fuck his money, to be honest. That's the honest truth. Now, everywhere Peter Obi goes, I still want to drum this thing as part of our petition. Everywhere Peter Obi goes, you still see proof that Peter Obi won this election. He was at the OBS Ekwesili event. Alibaba cracked a joke. You saw the energy in the room. Somebody still shouted, LUP. He still enter. But the person that told you people that he rigged himself into this thing, ran to France for 2 months, came back and can never have himself in a meeting with anything less than 5 people. And the 5 people are his 5 biggest kiss asses. Gbajabiamila has kissed so much ass, the lower portion of his beard is now turning white. From all the... That's all he does here. I don't know any place Gbajabiamila has never trended for any successful thing that he did as House of Reps. When election reach, he will come to Surulere and start 2 or 3 inner streets. 2 streets. They will say, aye, he has been walking. But the only thing that Gbajabiamila has trended for is following Tinubu up and down, kissing his PICC line. Foolishness in high places. APC is not discussing Senate president based on talent, based on meritocracy. Is based on region. Who supported votes? Who sent us votes? Who won 25% for us? Look, I repeat, Bola Ahmed Tinubu might be sworn in May 29th, barring any act of God or any sense and sensibilities. But that swearing in means nothing. It's null and void. It is just a charade. It's a shit show based on the impunity that Muhammadu Buhari has cooked in this country. There are about 9 requirements to be president of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu failed at 6 of them. We are already in court. Under normal circumstances, that man should not. Imagine an atheist swearing by the Bible before he does a job. You can already see that it's already null and void. So imagine a man swearing by the Nigerian Constitution to uphold the law, but the same Constitution, he's not found worthy to even be a president-select. So they will do their charade, because I tell you people that even if Tinubu was overseas, they will still do their May 29 via Zoom. They will do it via Zoom. So this is their charade. They will run it. They will run it. No wahala. But I repeat, the mandate will be collected from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Please remember, he is a convicted drug baron. He was convicted of fraud and narcotics trafficking, in particular heroin. You know they sell loud na heroin. Where they say they don't write anywhere. Say Tinubu even sold marijuana one day. Make you use that one pity and say he said choco. Heroin, hard drug. 1, 2, he did not win 25% in Abuja. 3, Shetima had a double nomination. 4, he's a Guinean citizen. 5, his academic qualifications are all fake, and on that he committed perjury and is liable for 14 to 16 years imprisonment. So you see, 6, his age is a lie. 7, nothing he has ever posted about himself down to his nationality and his history is true. So look, this is a charade. It's a charade. Don't worry. It's just because this guy is there. If it was PDP that was in power and Tinubu, maybe INEC rigged Tinubu with 8 million, do you think PDP would have, do you understand what I'm saying? Would another party have allowed this continue? Yes, they'll pause it and say till after the Supreme Court. So they will continue that charade. But I repeat, the mandate will be collected from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is what? May, June, July. It no go reach August. Now me they tell you, it no go reach, if that May 29 hold, it no go reach August. They will collect it back from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as it has been collected from several state governors before him. It will be collected. Then he will set the record as the first president of this country to have a mandate brought back from him, because he went and stole what was not his. And nothing will happen. Nothing. I repeat, nothing will happen. There'll be no riots in the north. Nobody celebrated when he won. Nobody will set Nigeria ablaze when he loses. There'll be no riot in the north. There'll be no burning of shops. The highest person will go vex na Longinus, Giraffe, El Rufai, Bashiru Ahmed, who will go back to obscurity, and a bunch of them. Highest, they will leave Twitter. If we pay them rich when that mandate is collected from Tinubu, let them go naked on the road. So I end my submission here. God bless you all. Fuck Abike Dabiri. She ain't shit. Cheers.
Omo. This one long, shower. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, Omo. As in, I just thought that I'll just be. All right, thank you, Ensis. Guys. Woo, plenty things to digest. I think just like having a reaction to your submission. But it's all good. Welcome back, bro. Thank you for the lengthy and insightful submission as always. And it's always a pleasure having you on the platform. Thank you so much. All right. And please take your flowers. You know that last time we didn't give you your flowers as a journalist, because it's in-house and it skipped us. Honestly, it skipped my mind. You have done an amazing job for this movement, amazing career you have had as a journalist, and you deserve all the flowers. You're one of those people who are calling El Rufai, Rufai, Ojokbe, and the rest. You stand out because you guys have had the guts to speak truth to power. So I'm looking at N6 is speaking truth to power. Why can't you, as a journalist, speak truth to power? Rufai is speaking truth to power. Why can't you speak truth to power also? So please, guys, I just say, please reach out. Shout out to N6, give him his flowers. He's a journalist. When you come up on this platform, you forget that we have people, we have seasoned veterans, we have seasoned professionals on this platform. It is only on the violence which you see professionals. Some are in the office now, listening to us on this platform. Some are at work, listening to us on this platform. General Oluchi, she's at work. She had to come out. Hopefully, she'll join us back again to drop a solution. That is how we are. We are the ones that we will, if in the eventuality of the worst presidency, we are the ones that have that buffer. By the grace of God, we are the ones that we will suffer less, but we are the ones speaking out more. And that is one thing that I said that I know that with this moment that people that truly love this country reside here. So guys, please don't stop speaking, keep talking. Let's keep the conversation rolling. We're opening the floor right now. If you have reactions, please, most importantly, it's up on the jumbotron there. We are trending Abike SudanGate. Make sure you make tweets with Abike SudanGate. If you have your tweets, if you cannot, if you're the shy type that don't know how to come up and speak, please, if you're a chorister in our choir section, that's in the comment section, when you're making those comments, those bomb comments, end it with Abike SudanGate, Bola Tinubu committed perjury. We are calling on this failed Buhari's administration to arrest Bola Tinubu now and broadcast PEPT live. All those hashtags are up on the jumbotron. You can access them. You can quickly just copy and drop. Copy and drop. All right, Otumba, I don't know if you do us the honors. I think Jimmy, the floor is open. You can always start up as usual. You can always jump in, my brother.
I want to answer you and Otumba. That on submission, get to be,
No, you know, guys.
I understand what they talk, but you see waiting, You see, after we don't collect our mandate, we go meet councillor. We go they counsel ourselves. Say, you shouldn't do like that. We go turn human being. But for now, we're nothing worry. You have to be mad as them. If they want to be stupid, you have to be mad. No worry. When we collect our mandate, finish, our humanity go come return. Say, I be human being. But for now, I no be human being. For now,
I no be gentleman at all.
Then you understand. You now see for I no send anybody. I no send anybody. When we don't collect our mandate, those of us we go Yaba left, we go. Those of us we won't go see council. Because we see, brother, people go full everywhere. But first, guys, let us claim our mandate first. And before I go, yesterday I got to realize that it's very good and healthy to eat an egg every single day. A egg is necessary every single day. Make sure you eat an egg. Not be me talk amo. Me not here.
If you encourage poultry, if you decide to give one child an egg per day in school, give one child an egg per day in school.
This man no go school one day. Jimmy, let me give you another one that flew over many heads. Any JS2 student knows. Jimmy, as fit as what? Everybody knows as fit as a fiddle. Tinubu said, I am as fit as sand.
Sand, yes, sand.
This man did not he did not see the four walls of a school for one day. Everybody knows as fit as a fiddle from GS1.
In go school.
This man. Now, let me also remind you, have you noticed that since this election started, they've stopped telling you people that Tinubu had a first class in accountancy? Remember that lie was sold for more than 25 years.
He went to school. He was selling drugs. He was selling drugs.
They trap.
He was a pharmacist. As a student, he was a pharmacist.
You know the funny part.
He was a chemist. Guys, so it doesn't have to be ego. It doesn't have to be egg.
Please, correction is pharmaceutical accountant. Pharmaceutical accountant.
It can be a apple. It can be a orange. Just make sure you eat a egg, a orange, a apple.
If you eat an egg a day, you'll be as fit as sand. Go help you on your PICC line.
Back to you now, Sirdam.
Oh, God have mercy. Hey, God have mercy upon us.
But that's as I am as fit as sand. I had to carry sand with the back of my house. Look at. Say where you fit, where Sirdam, education will suffer. We have to collect this mandate back.
Bro,
The
hey,
next ASU strike.
God have mercy.
The next strike na secondary school. Wait till be this union of secondary school teachers. Now then go strike.
If you know
No
the
be
smoky boy, you don't
even
go
you.
to school. If you know the smoky boy, you don't go to school. If you know Sabi do drugs.
As
Hey,
fit as sand
oh God have
after
mercy.
eating
God
a
have
egg.
mercy. No,
Hey.
no, 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 no. All right, guys, let's open up the floor. We have ranted for long. Let's bring you guys into the conversation. I think I'll start with my brother. Let's take a lady. Always, we are gentlemen on the violence space. So we start with ladies. And our obedient ladies, come and speak. Violence as people, I don't know what's happening. I hope is everything fine. You know, this one now people are doing like this now. You know, gender, they're not changing gender. Obedient
I also
ladies.
found out something, Sirdam. Ladies, most of you don't even use. Most ladies, I found out, use Peter Obi or use this mouth where then they cover. I'm not a huge fan of that DP. So we don't even know which one are ladies when you look through. Most of the guys, you can tell the guys. So ladies, I don't know, but sometimes when I go through the request, I can't even tell who a lady is if your name doesn't say you're a lady or we don't have a female picture as the display. But if you're a lady and you want to speak and you sent a request, sometimes use this comment box a lot more. Hello, I'm in the comments. I'm a lady. I want to speak. Please bring me up. And we are reading these boxes. We will bring you up. God bless you all. Thank you. Sirdam, continue.
Thank you very much, my brother. Obedient ladies. Oh, yeah, on to the next one. All right, let's start with my sister, Ariwachik. Ariwachik, good evening. How are you doing today? Have you eaten a egg so that you can be as fit as a sand? Good evening. You have the space.
Good evening, everyone. Emir Sirdam. Otumba, Sizu. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be here, and I think I'll just speak on one topic. I'm just going to speak on one topic, and that's because right now it's a case of emergency. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not speaking on this topic because I'm from a particular region. I'm speaking as a Nigerian, and right now, some very vital lessons are being learnt as regards this Sudan student that are stranded. So first, I woke up today and I saw a distress video from one of the students, calling out for help, and they are in the desert. The vehicles have stopped, and I was like, really, and she also said something that was worrisome, that the drivers stopped because they said they were not paid. And I wondered, I said, okay, I thought somebody said $1.2 million was what they used in ensuring that this was done properly. And everybody knows that money, that figure, is quite too much, to do what they had to do. But, Nigerian government is, very good at calling dollars and millions, and you'll be wondering, oh, are we now using naira or dollars? Because I don't get it. Okay, so what happened to this money, and then why are these students stranded? Then all of a sudden, we get people, everybody is just chiming in, everybody is saying what they have to say, you know. Allen Oyema came out and said, I want to help these people. I want to single-handedly, take out these people. I'm very sure that Abike Dabiri is not even happy that happened because, of course, it's almost as if the money that they are using to go and rescue the student was actually planned for a room, to embezzle, because they are all going now. So the fact that Allen Oyema is now coming out to say, oh, I want to help, I'm sure he kind of closed some loopholes that they would have used to embezzle more than they would have ordinarily wanted to do. And we have people saying, oh, these students are supposed to, this student are supposed to by now, their parents are supposed to get them, and the government is not supposed to do that. I don't understand. Yes, these students they are there, and something like this happened. It's the right of the government to actually do this as a distress. Now, what baffles me is the fact that why do they choose to take our people through the road. For crying out loud. People are saying because of the war, planes are not landing in Sudan. But we've seen military jets land there for Spain, for Spanish, for British and for Kenya.
For
Military jets.
Uganda
For,
Airlines.
for
Have you
Kenya.
noticed the Nigerian military is never involved in anything that involves Nigerians overseas?
Exactly.
Neither our
And I'm
military
wondering,
planes nor our army people. Continue.
is it that Nigeria doesn't have this kind of jets? Is it that we don't have this kind of Air Force jets or military jets? For crying out loud, Kenya, giant of Africa, cannot use any military jets. These are the same planes that were used by Tinubu and Shetima's wives traveling from one state to the other during the electioneering and campaigning period. And they couldn't use this plane to go and pick our stranded students. The question now is, if these students are their children, will they take them through the road? Would they use the road to bring them back? Now that's to tell you that these people don't care about anybody. What they care about is our commonwealth, themselves, and their relatives. Because I'm very sure that they wouldn't have used road to ever, let's say, for example, Muhammad Buhari's daughter, or maybe any big person, that is in politics, his child is there. I don't think they will use the road to do that. And on top of that, I saw a video where one of the bus drivers categorically was speaking and somebody was translating, saying that they promised them that they are going to get their money in their account before the bus leaves. But unfortunately, even after till the morning when they were supposed to leave, they did not see any money in their account. And then somebody, an incompetent, uncouth woman, who is supposed to be a diplomat for Nigeria, for foreign affairs, this woman is coming out attacking people and saying that they are sorting people according to states and capital. Like, I don't understand. Are they sorting rice and beans?
That one baffle me pass.
Are they sorting rice and beans?
Their tribalism does not have a public holiday.
For crying out loud. Emergency evacuation, and somebody is talking about state and capital. Is there something this woman is not telling us? Because one of the students, also in a video, categorically said that it's not the case of carrying people by state of origin. It was a case of carrying people who were their own, who they felt were more Nigerian than some other ones. That was what they were. So it's worrisome. I don't understand. And then the fact that Ethiopia had the nerve, the effrontery, the mind to turn back Nigerians and say they should go and look for visa and allow other people to pass. The question still remains, there is something this government and Abike or whoever is in charge of these things are not telling us. Because I don't see why Ethiopia will send back Nigerians with their full chest. Because I know that African countries have this kind of agreement and relationship, and this ambassador, Abi diplomat, Abi what they call them, they have this.
Nigerian soldiers fought for the liberation of Ethiopia.
They're like an intermediary to kind of cement relationship between countries. So how come Ethiopia had the effrontery, the audacity to tell Nigerians not to cross, but go back to a place where there is war for them to die? Where was their humanity?
That's because it is well said that some of them have been radicalized.
But Jimmy, that should not matter.
We can't. We've not discussed what they really go to study in Sudan.
Bro.
But anyway,
What I'm saying is, if you're gonna say, okay, you come to a border in a war-torn country and you say, okay, we know 30, 40, 50 of you have been radicalized or are doing X, Y, Z. Are you saying all 5,000 of them have been radicalized? Number 3, what this lady is saying, we belong to African Union. We are one of the deciding voices in African Union. So you're telling me you cannot get on the phone with the Ethiopian president and say, wait a minute, okay, let's find a pact. Let's talk this through. Like, it's a call. Like, what do you guys want? Like, okay, the people that are coming through,
Buhari is snapping cloths in military
even
regalia.
if it's to have Ethiopian military escort the people to make sure nobody escape. Like, what I'm saying is, like, there's nothing that warrants even known terrorists that when they get arrested by international bodies still get some level of respect to an extent where, okay, but you have 5,000 Nigerians and you are saying a country in African Union is looking at you and telling you, I'm not going to let one of them cross in because I think some of them are radical. Like, there's some, like, I
Not even just a country.
they're not telling
Ethiopia, whenever chop bellyful, Ethiopia, not
I'm
Egypt, not
telling
South
you.
Africa, Ethiopia.
Otumba, I think I understand what Otumba is trying to say, but I want you to put into consideration that to them, to their country, it's a matter of national security to them.
Yeah, but Jimmy, there's still a way you can
humanity
Otumba,
first.
Nigeria needs a president that would have entered the plane immediately to
or
Ethiopia.
foreign affairs. Yeah, I know you want to bash a Dabiri, but Godfrey Hiamagongo is the number one culprit. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And
It's not about foreign affairs. This is national security, Otumba. What Ethiopia is saying is
but your
valid.
your foreign affairs minister gets on the call with they have their own envoys. They all get, I mean, anybody that's watched, okay, there's a show anybody can reference to. There's a diplomat on Netflix. Anybody that starts foreign relations, there are people that get on the phone call and iron this out and have a conversation that, yo, there are 5,000 of my citizens at your border. You might suspect, okay, do you have exact who is exactly terrorist? No, okay, let's work it out. Get your police. I'll be responsible for all of them. You're gonna give them IDs and whatever you have to do at that time. Are they coming in with guns? Search them, search them, march them through a line. We're gonna put them through this. Like they are people. This is things you don't
Governance is not rocket science.
That's my point. It's not
Otumba,
like,
you have a
it's not brain surgery.
Yeah, you really do have a compelling point. So that means the federal government of Nigeria would have done something so fucked up that this guy just they don't want to have anything to do with Nigeria.
That's my point.
That's our record.
Yeah.
That's our record.
Exactly. Because it's very for a country like Nigeria, we are so failed that there's nothing that we cannot do, to even destroy certain kind of relationship. Because I'm still wondering why Ethiopia we do what they did. Because imagine other country people went to that same border and they were allowed to go. The question now is, the leader of those other countries that were allowed to pass through the border, they have done what they had to do. But unfortunately, our own not do what they're supposed to do.
Do you remember when the Syria crisis broke out and certain people from around Syria and around those countries there were coming into Europe, where either Germany or Italy, one of those neighboring countries with the Middle East, or Turkey, they had to, initially there was a blockade, but they got on the call, talked it out, and said, even Germany knew it was letting in people that were radicalized. They knew, but you know what? We'll figure it out. Because Syria there's a human crisis. And we have to work. We can't even, when all our, here, anybody that's been to any Nigerian High Commission office here in Atlanta or DC, when his bedroom slippers and his talk, the gossip they'll be doing there, or that maybe they've not attended any single diplomatic meeting in their life before. Maybe they don't even know who the Sudan ambassador is. Like, you know how bad where a country would just say, man, middle finger to you, I'm not letting your people pass. It's my sister continue.
To me, it still remains there must be an agreement that must have been breached one way or the other for Ethiopia to have that kind of audacity to do what they did without thinking twice. For crying out loud, Spain was among those who lifted their people, and imagine they helped Indians out of that place. So the question now is, when Kenya went there, let's even assume that Nigeria doesn't have all these military jets, which I'm still finding difficult to understand. So they couldn't talk to Kenya to airlift. Why is it that Nigerian problem is always so different, and we that are victims are always quick, to make excuses for these people? And then I saw somebody like Gimba saying, oh, these students are ungrateful. Why are they coming out? See the way they are talking so rudely. They are so this, they are so that. And I'm like, really? That some of them, their parents are supposed to be the one. And I'm like, I don't understand. Are you really making any sense right now? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
You
For
know,
crying
here
out
the
loud,
way they
they
talk,
are,
say,
they are in
they
a,
talk, say, what did they go do for Sudan in the first place? You never see that one. You never read that one.
I'm like, they are in a war-torn zone, and there is a possibility that they have run out of cash, which is very possible. For crying out loud, because they are saying they don't have money on them, doesn't
A
mean that
student is
they are,
always broke.
because it's very funny, and I'm like, what is this? Somebody is even saying that people are trying to evacuate them and they're talking about food. So they shouldn't eat again. Some of them have spent days without eating or even drinking water. And somebody is telling me that they don't have right to ask. Like, I don't understand it. The fact
And
still remains until the
this is
North
the second time.
understands that.
This is the second time we're saying this. I remember the Ukraine crisis also, because I remember the Ukraine crisis, how when Nigerians too, I mean, there was racism involved, but there was also a point where Nigerian students were the one that found blacks, so Nigerians found it difficult to get out of Ukraine. So that, like, I don't know. Like Nigeria, I don't know. I really do not know, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it seems like you keep
He's
saying
APC,
Kenya.
man.
You keep saying Kenya. Kenya is a developed. You got Museveni, Uganda. Uganda flew his people
Otumba
out.
Arewa Chick, let me just give you guys, everybody on Violence Space, let me just give you a quick 2-minute submission, just with some facts and figures.
Let her wrap up now. So
I know, this is
Okay.
going to help what she's saying. I just want to just drop this here. Whenever Air Peace offers to help, please understand and don't take that man's offer for granted. A quick Google search will show you that there are about 27 airlines operating in Nigeria. A few names: Arik Air, Air Peace, Dana Air, Aero Contractors, Asman Air, Overland Air, Medview Air, Max Air, Allied Air, Ibom Air, First Nation, IRS, United Nigerian Airlines, Bellevue Air, Associated Aviation. These airlines operate in this country. They have multiple fleets. Did you hear Ibom Air offer to help? Did you hear Asman Air offer to help? But every time, Air Peace will offer to help, and this man will get insulted. Igbos will get insulted. There are some people that just want Nigeria to move forward. Please continue, wrap up your submission in 1 minute. But this thing really hurts. This Sudan issue really, really hurts. Continue, please.
So wrapping up, because my thoughts have been, have been broken sort of. So the fact still remains, this should be a great lesson to the North. Supporting a failed government and clamoring to harbor the same government that have failed you. Northerners, open your eyes now. If it was their children, would they go by road? Until you understand that you are only useful as an election tool, nothing else. And for others who think that North enjoys all, we can see it. A failed system is a failed system. And the funny thing is, it's going to affect everybody. The fact that you and I are clamoring for a good Nigeria is still collectively that all of us, plus the people that are clamoring for the bad one, that will enjoy it. Still, when we clamor for the bad one, it's still collectively that we will suffer it. So let's open our eyes and see this thing. A failed system is a failed system, and there are consequences for bad choices. Thank you.
Thank you
Right.
very much.
Thank you. I think Distinguish is back now, Abby.
Yeah, Distinguish is
There are
back.
consequences for bad choices.
So
I love that.
I think we should have Distinguish now, so she can. She's at work, so guys, please let us give her the chance to quickly do this with us real quick. Well-meaning Nigerian others, please bear with us. We'll do this real quick. And all our listeners, I can see everybody. Don't worry. I'll mention your name after this. Let's just listen to what she's got to say. Distinguish, how you doing, my sister?
Hi,
Welcome.
Jimmy. How are you? I don't wait. Go walk. I don't wait. Go walk. Go chop lunch. Come back. Bath. Even I dare road self. They go out. I still don't see Mike. Now what? Anyway, how on a day, my people? How is it going? Jimmy, N6, Sirdam, Otumba, you guys are doing great. Sometimes I know they just won't talk. I will just listen. They do it and I do. But I'm really so glad that you guys made our time to, come and update us and also allow us to air our anger, especially with what's going on in Sudan. I'll just pick the Sudan thing quickly and then I'll go into the petition if you don't mind. The thing, what I've observed with us as Nigerians, can you guys hear me well? Is it clear?
Yeah, but we have this background
Perfect.
noise coming.
There's a bit of breeze going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think you're in motion.
I'm driving. It's kind of difficult to Hold on, let me bring my phone closer. Okay. So, the problem I've noticed with us Nigerians is we don't take anything seriously. Nothing is serious. Even if people are crying blood, heads are rolling on the floor, it's not so serious. This thing that is happening in Sudan happened before. It happened in, where is this country that is currently at war? It happened before, right? And what happened? We complained, we fought Abike showed herself, and yada yada yada, everyone moved on. It happened before that in South Africa. People showed themselves, videos were flying, people getting burned, cars getting burned, people running away, blah blah blah. We moved on. How long will it keep happening before we realize like this is not normal? This is not the way to live. There is no society that is going to progress in this kind of mentality. Look at the kind of president we have. A nonchalant, arrogant, ignorant, unintelligent old man that does not even want to, he doesn't even care. And this is the kind of person that some Nigerians are still defending him up to today. And when you look at this whole thing, you just be like, you know what, me personally, I'm not speaking for anybody. I'm tired. I'm not even interested in lamenting about Sudan. I'm sorry for those who are stuck over there, and I hope everything works out for them, but I am tired of talking about, and I don't even want to keep talking. It's nothing personal. I'm tired. Make anything will go happen, make it happen. That is the stage I am right now. And if I look at it, there's really nothing that is going to affect me about it. I am not in Sudan. I'm not in my country is not at war. I can go home and sleep well at night. But this issue has been happening, and how have we been handling it? That's the problem. What have we been doing about it? Nothing. We just keep talking, call out, drag whoever. By May 29, they will throw a lavish party for their inauguration ceremony. Everybody will wear the brightest agbada, tie the biggest gele, share money, share gag, do a shepi party. Everybody will forget. And then by maybe next, there will always be war. There's always going to be violence around the world. There's going to be cold war, there's going to be bloody war. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that is going to affect innocent people. And every country that I know of prepares for that. China, Europe, they all prepare for that. They have a reserve. Even in the U.S., the U.S. have a reserve where they keep food and water. Even though they have homeless people, they have food and water that should last them in case there's a problem. They are every year that food bank is updated. They give out the ones that are expired and replenish it. You go to China or Korea, there are underground.
That's FEMA.
Huh?
I said that's what FEMA does. FEMA
Exactly. I read an article about North Korea and stuff where they have even underground cities. They build a place whereby if there's a problem in their country, people are they have to at least secure life. That's what progressive countries do. Nigeria is not progressive. Nigeria is backward. Nigeria is uncivilized. There's nothing, when you talk about it, you don't have to mince your words. And it gets the worst out of me when I'm talking about Nigeria.
You're driving through a bad network patch, ma'am.
It makes me hear me better.
You're breaking. We're losing you gradually.
Listen, AT&T, you
And anyone,
man.
I'm driving home. Can you hear me better now? Or maybe I'll call back when I get home if you guys can hear
I think it's kind of muffled, but I'm asking, is your carrier AT&T like me? Or
no, I know they use AT&T. Don't use AT&T.
Honestly, I think
distinguished.
I think we should listen to you when you get home, because what you want to say is much more important.
Yes, please.
Listen and hear you clearly. Yeah, because you're breaking down
you're muffled.
Yeah,
right.
We need to listen to the breakdown of the petition very well. Yeah.
All right. Call back maybe in an hour. All right.
Yeah,
but Jimmy, wait.
No
you
problem.
see, what she's saying, now me fuck up. Now me they show concern. See, we are showing outrage at what's happening in Sudan, and I've been thinking about it while she was talking. Like, it's been happening in Southern Kaduna and Benue and Ondo, and this is what has been happening. The difference is, it's not necessarily people moving from one spot to another. We forgot how after Ondo, when they were still blood on the floor of the church. These people were having gala. So I think I see why you can say, man, this Sudan, man, I don't care, because it's been happening in Nigeria for the past 8 years and we've not cared. Like, I mean, a governor will not even go to a mass burial in his own state in Kaduna. So, like, I mean, they've been telling us that they don't give, the life of a Nigerian is worthless to them. Finally, like, okay. Now, the difference is now they are doing it on international stage where the whole world can see that, so the life of a Nigerian is worthless. But continue, Jimmy, back to you.
Oh boy. Worthless. You just mentioned SEMA now, and I remember SEMA. They do that even when hurricane happens. They're the ones there to help people out and just provide shelter and food and drinks to people. But anyway, moving forward, we'll be taking a new queue now. But first, let's acknowledge our regulars. Shilalu, all
Jimmy, I'm coming. Sorry, please. Before you go on, please, I also want to use this minute to wish Dele Farutimi happy birthday and Obi Ekwesili. Please, happy birthday, guys. Reach out to them. They are wonderful Nigerians that exemplify what we are looking for in a new Nigeria. Dele has been on our platform before. So reach out to him and wish him happy birthday. And to all, yesterday was also my mom's birthday. So happy birthday to my mom also. Yeah, big shout out to you, mama. All right. I think, Jimmy, back to you now.
Yeah, I actually, wish them happy birthday. I mistook Joe Obedience photo for Dele Farutimi. I thought it was the one, so I've been seeing that picture for a while now. So Shilalu, thanks for coming. JP, Mazi FA, I see you. Anka Dede, Sweet Child, Olawaski, Omega X, Savik, thank you, my brother. Ayobami, Wilson, Zion, Miss Barriott, you're here. Zari, you, my brother. Wonderful. Madonna, Arabs, Auntie Bolanle, God bless you. Liberty Champion, Auntie Meg, Equity, Honorable Ada. Oh my goodness. Our ladies are here. Oh Jesus. All the Adas are here. Ripple, I see you, my sister. Chief Oekena, been a long time. Ifrani, Pegged, Prisma, Tachi. Oh my God. Just OJ. Thanks for coming, my brother. OIRS, the regulars, everybody's here. Take care. Shiloh, Ellen, Margarita, AK Priest, God bless you guys. Thanks for coming. Incoming virus, happiness, I see you. Thank you guys. Ask for the mic and we all give our submission here today. Let me just take a quick cue now. The next should be UC Maxwell, Elizabeth, Jobedient, Dr. Olu, and I think Clarita should be coming afterwards. So in that order, UC Maxwell, my brother, how you doing? Oh, I can see Grandmaster too. You welcome to the speaker section. UC Maxwell, how you doing, my brother?
Good evening to you, Jimmy. I greet you plenty. It's just barely 24 minutes past the hour of 9 p.m. over here from my time zone. Sirdam, good evening to you. I celebrate you. Sizo, I celebrate you. I want to assure you that, we celebrate you no matter the platform you are on, doing whatever you are doing. You see, the thing is that a lot of obedience have put in a lot into this movement. In fact, some people have had to go out of their even career line to give us, tidbits into politics and a lot of things. And I found out that throughout this movement, we've learned one thing or the other from everybody who has, supported this movement. So we celebrate you guys for all you do and everybody on the space. I greet each and every one of you. Tumba, good evening to you too. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here again. It's always a blessed moment to be in this church of violence. So I'll just move on with my submission. So I tried to do a little maths. When I saw the figures, I used I know the official rate is around 550 to 570, like that. That is what you see on the bank's board when you enter into the bank. So I calculated that money to come up with the figures, and I realized that for the proposed 40 buses that they were supposed to spend about, so I want to put it in Nigerian currency so that we go to understand how much these guys are actually spending, because we are not talking about outside the shores of Africa here. We are talking of within.
I love when we do this. Continue.
We are talking within Africa. So I did that calculation, and for the 40 buses, it resulted, I told you with 550 naira, resulted into 660 million naira to hire 40 buses. 660. Now, if you further break it down, you would see that one bus is costing 16.5 million naira. Now, here's the catch. This is to hire the bus. You are not buying the bus. 16.5 million naira. This money for hire does not include logistics, does not include probably the driver's welfare to drive,
And the
probably
bus
does
is from
not.
where to where? Sorry, the bus is from where to where?
They are transporting basically from Sudan to Egypt, and I want to believe, we
16. Hold on, my brother. Let me just help you out here. You know, this is my area of expertise. To now give you a bit more context, 16.5 million naira per bus. Now takes your mathematics back in reverse. 16.5 million divided by 550 means Abike Dabiri is paying 30,000 United States dollars per bus. SudanGate. Continue, brother.
So you get, and we that are into this legal this thing, we are always particular about words. When you say you spend that money to hire the bus, I believe that there are other monies that may come with the $1.2 million. You get me, that they will add for other logistics and the rest. So this goes to show you how much these people are interested when the lives of vibrant youths, Nigerian citizens, are online. Are on the line. They're interested in milking Nigeria dry. That is the only thing that these guys know. When you were talking, N6, about this woman, I've had many reasons to call her names on this social media, things I don't like to do. She put up on her profile that she's a wife and a mother. For a woman like this that occupies a political office in Nigeria, she's a shame to motherhood. She's a shame to political office. She's a shame to anything that you can think about. We are talking about a woman that can comfortably insult citizens. She is a face of Nigeria to diasporans.
She's also a bloody liar, my brother, because don't forget, when she insulted Mr. 83 followers and Dr. Okpegbanwo called her out, she said that the young man said that she was a runs girl. That guy on his Twitter handle has challenged Abike Dabiri with all his tweets and said, where, Abike Dabiri, have I ever called you a runs girl? Till now, Abike Dabiri has not replied. That young man never insulted her and just asked for accountability, telling her, what will you say, leaving it to the grace of God? I think she made a statement about how the grace of God. She was like, we did not vote in the grace of God. I don't think that you should be saying that. And that's what led to the barrage of insults. But remember that she's also a liar, because she said that why she insulted that young man was that the guy called her a runs girl. She tweeted this. And the guy has challenged her to reply where she saw him call her a runs girl. And Abike Dabiri has not replied till today. A mother and a wife. I yield. Continue, brother.
If my head doesn't fail me much, there was a time she made the same accusation when she was called out for insulting somebody else, and she accused the person of also insulting her. I don't know if she released evidence to that. I want to remind you, listeners, she's not the first woman to hold public office. We had Obi Ezekwesili there. We had Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala there. We had the NAFDAC woman, I beg, remind me, I beg. Dora Akinluyi.
Akunyeli. Dora
Thank you very much.
Blessed memory.
So, when you see people who have represented Nigeria and they've done so in fine and beautiful fashion, and these people still represent Nigeria, people like Okonjo-Iweala, and you see this woman with a small office that she has been given, every time that Nigerians have faced issues regarding diaspora, obtaining tickets, obtaining visas, she has never come to their aid. Several Nigerians have been deported because of bank issues, as a result of having several issues between themselves and the banks that are supposed to facilitate the payment of their fees. Several Nigerians have been deported because of issues regarding passports, which are not of their own doing, of the failures of men and women who work in these passport offices. She has not done anything to help Nigerians. She's only committed to glorifying the party that she represents. It's unfortunate she's not the first. We've seen people like Festus Keyamo, who is supposed to be a minister. You talked about ministerial about ministers in Nigeria, who is supposed to be a minister with Nigerians first, but they've decided to put party politics first above, the interest of Nigerians. It's actually a pity. And you know what marvels me the more? When you see the people who support these people, go and check. They are not doing well in life, with all due respect to their to whatever strata in life that they may be in. These are people who are suffering. These are people who have not had the opportunity of testing good governance. Me, where they follow you talk, and I've not left the shores of Nigeria. I have family members who are outside there, but I know if he enjoy waiting another person they enjoy by proxy. They've not enjoyed the good things of life, but they continue to support the people that oppress them. My brothers and sisters, the Stockholm syndrome of the Nigerian situation is more critical than anywhere that you can think of. A shift away from that woman who does not deserve any glory that she may be getting as a result of mentioning her name. For the PDP boys, I had Sizu when you say that, or was it Sirdam that said LP has taken over their position as an opposition? No, we've left that position. We held that position comfortably for more than 9 months, leading into the presidential elections. But we are the leaders of this game. They go give us. See, when you say it without mincing words, I affirm it without mincing words, that they go give us our ticket back. I have said since that day after the elections, where I went to vote, the zinc rain fell that the zinc nearly cut my head. I was riding my bike to several polling units, delivering ink for INEC so that people can vote. After those results were announced, I have never felt down for one day. For one day, I am too confident that we'll retrieve it back. As for the PDP boys that are crying, what do you expect? They know. They are very sure that they can no longer get anything. So they try to shift blame. When Adam saw that he did not have any position in the throne in the Garden of Eden, he decided to shift blame. Eve saw the same reason, decided to shift blame. At least the devil himself was sane, was man enough to collect all the blames and stand. If only PDP, the devil that they have been for 16 years that they ruled us, without giving us the dividends of democracy that we are supposed to enjoy. During that time, the same killings happened. During that time, insurgency was there. It's not like they did not loot money or anything. I see your hand, Mr. Jimmy Aldrando. So let them continue crying, and we'll continue feeding them reasons for them to cry. I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be home by this time because network no day my house. I have to stand out to listen. I really want to listen to her narration of the whole LP petition from the angle that she's been able to read it. It's a beautiful document. Anybody who tries to claim that is not watertight, is not this and that, just want you to feel down. My brothers and sisters, be ready. They go soon announce the people who go hear this matter. They go soon start the proceedings, and we'll be ready to.
They have been announced, sir. The appeal court judges to preside over Peter Obi's case has been announced. It's up on the jumbotron. They are the following names: Justice Haruna Simon Samani from Bauchi State, Justice Stephen Jonah Ada from Kogi State, Justice Abba Bello Mohammed from Kano State, Justice Joseph Ikie from Benue State, Justice Monica Bolna Ann from Dongban Mensem from Plateau State. Please, my Plateau people, I beg, come help me read this name. Saying those names where they talk about when I get where we like so much. Monica Bolna and Dongban Mensem, justice from Plateau State, 5 of them, the appeal court judges. They are up on the jumbotron. It sounds like somebody threw metal plates from a 3-story building to pick that name, but maybe it has a meaning. I would love to know. Thank you. Continue, sir.
Okay. Let me just respond to that. That is not official. I would like to put it out here. I responded to the person that posted that tweet.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'll take that down.
Yes, then I will also say that the reason why these names came up is because these were the names of the people that had the ex parte motions that were filed in order to be able to get, some of these materials that they needed to inspect. Now, there is a speculation that since they were there to hear the ex parte motions, they may also be put on that same team. The woman who is part of that list, Justice Monica, she is the president of the Court of Appeal. So those are just speculations for now. They are not yet
Oh yes, I
authentic.
know her very well. I have a dossier on her already.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you
And
very much.
all these, sorry, just to round up very briefly, all these names, they have some of them have some baggages, but let me just end here. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, UC Maxwell. I love the fact that you pay attention to whenever someone waves. You pay attention and you keep to time. Thank you. God bless you. Distinguished, please. You can just DM me.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
$30,000 per bus. I don't want the breakdown of what UC Maxwell just said
my
to
brother.
fly over our heads.
See,
$1.2 million was dispersed to get these people, the students, out of Sudan. 40 buses. From what I heard, they said it was 40 buses, but I think about 20 something, about 30 something came. From what I've heard, there's another video I'm seeing on the timeline about a whole multitude of students that I found out were left behind. So are you sure that Abike's
They
they are
say
going to be
2000 says I see them there. Only
hold on,
20
Saddam?
and only 27 buses came. I think
I have somebody in my DM, God bless you, who said, who is trying to buttress UC Maxwell is my PA, but this is what he sent me. How many $1 million? Was it 1.2 or 1.5?
1.2.
$1.2 million for 40 buses. 27 buses came. Abike Dabiri puts up a cryptic post that they're going to sort out this evacuation by what? Alphabetical order. So I think, and then following using Maxwell's mathematics, that means even at 40 buses, that's $30,000 per bus. And I think her math is that these buses might have to take them out, come back to Sudan, and pick another set by alphabetical order. People will come from Zamfara. Now go be the last people where then go pick. Begin pray. I don't know how they want to do it, but at $30,000 per bus, they should be serving y'all some McDonald's, a shot of Azul each for what you guys are going through. 30,000 is a lot of money. Anyway, I yield. General is back. Please continue, ma'am. Thank you.
General, I'm not sure. Are you home now? I don't think she is. But I mean, if
I'm
you
here, Jimmy. Wait
are you home now?
now. I am not home, but I have other things that might take me away from this conversation. So I'm trying. I just had to pull over in front of a store I'm going into so I can talk. I hope
Oh,
my voice is
fantastic.
better now.
Okay, all right. If you can, if you
I'm always on the move. It's crazy for me. Okay,
okay,
so I
yeah.
just want to wrap up my last thought on this Sudan thing just for a minute before I go into the petition. I don't know who's in the Nigerian government that is listening, but I think you guys need to put away your ego. Stop this foolishness, this stupidity, this ignorance. Drop it for a second and think like a human being. If there are people stranded in Sudan and you guys can't figure out how to get them out of the desert or wherever it is you led them to, send them food, send them water, send them a tent. Send some of your soldiers to go there and protect them till you figure out what to do. That's the least you can do. Why you people are busy sharing money and thinking of how to rob, change figures and whatnot. At least feed the people stranded over there. That's what any civilized nation would do. But anyway, moving into the petition, first of all, I must thank every obedient because, in as much as I'm writing these things, if no one is pushing it forward, it wouldn't get the attention it's getting. So I thank you guys for the support and everything else because it's important. The petition is very, very important. And I will tell you why I started doing this. It's not that people don't have access to it. It's all over the internet. If you Google it, it's gonna pop up. Everyone, even I have copies on my phone, on my laptop, pretty much even on my work laptop that I'm not even supposed to. I downloaded it so I can be reading when I'm not working. So this document is totally available to anyone who wants it, even here on Twitter. But the reason why I decided to start breaking down this petition is because I realized that we have been circling
over the issues of, the past issues of the CJN going to London, Tinubu's drug case, what other stuff, how the election went. We keep going in circles and circles. And I could tell that people are starting to get tired of it. Not everyone, but I noticed that momentum was starting to drop because now there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when the court is going to give us a date. We don't know when the trial is going to be. And with the inauguration upon us, people are just wondering what's happening. So people came to my DM sometimes and asked me, hey, do you know about any date? Do you know if anything is going to happen in this? I say, I don't know. I wish I know. But I hate to say I don't know. But then I figured, okay, there's only one way to bring obedience back to what matters. We keep saying, talk about the judiciary, eyes on the judiciary. How are we going to keep an eye on the judiciary? We have to see what they see. I imagine that all the big heads in the judiciary are reading the petition. I want to imagine that all the chief justices, the sons and whatnot, they are reading the petition and they are taking notes. They are comparing. They are having meetings and all. So, but then, out of curiosity, what are they talking about? What are they saying that we're not seeing? Because I can't just sit and wait until they bring out a date. What would make them not want to schedule this trial on time? What is keeping them? So when I asked myself those few questions, I went back to the petition. I started reading it. I read from chapter 1 to down to 50. It's funny. I read everything, Obi's own. But then I asked myself, if Obi is saying all these things, what are the other guys saying? So I downloaded the other ones. I had to split my screen. I was using 2 different computers on my tablet to see everything all at once. So that was I started going line by line. I read this, I read that, I say, so this is what these people are cooking. And if you notice, APC boys and PDP, nobody was talking about these things because many of them didn't even care to read it. We were all busy talking about how the election went. We're talking about the Tinubu's drug stuff. But we're not seeing the kind of lies INEC, APC, and Tinubu's lawyers are cooking in the petition. There are a lot of things that I figured out in the last week that I never really imagined was going to be there. But first, let me just let everyone know. I know there is almost more than 1,000 people in this space, and I just want to make this clear. I am not a lawyer. I did not go to law school. I don't even have any qualification to call myself. I'm not even affiliated to law. I'm a media communications person. That's what I studied. But just out of passion for Peter Obi's movement, out of the pain and everything Nigeria has cost me, I figured that, you know what, it's time for me to look beyond what I know and try to understand what's happening. I know how to read contracts. I don't care what language is. If I don't understand language, I'll put it onto a translator. I must know what it is. And that was what drove me to started breaking down this. I knew that if I post a screenshot, I study my audience. I have an audience. Everyone on Twitter does, but I have a very strong audience, organic audience. And I know when I compare content whenever I share it. If I post a screenshot, if I notice that screenshot is more than 350 words, people might not want to read it. If I post it shorter, some will dance around it. And I keep trying to figure out what would make people sit down and read this, read what I'm reading. I don't mind reading hundreds of pages, but if I post 100 of pages, would anyone read it? I shared the link of this petition. I had to go and create a Google document folder, a Google Drive folder. I pasted all the documents and I shared the link on Twitter last week. I don't even think I got up to 20 likes. And that's unusual for me because I get way more than that. I don't even know how many people saw it. Nobody wanted to click the link. Nobody wants to go through the downloading. Come and start reading the greeting in the Lego time. Read this one, read that one. It was a turn off. And I understand. Not everyone would do it. Not everyone is patient enough to do it. And I'm not faulting anyone. So how, instead of me saying constantly, you don't read, you people don't read, you don't like to read, you don't want to read, how can I help it? How can I make it easy? So I said, okay, let's do it this way. Let me turn it to storytelling. If you started following me years ago, you know that I used to tweet stories on my timeline. I used to narrate short stories. A lot of people know. I still have a thread of stories. I used to tell horror stories. Those who know me well know that I write content on horror stories. I like to make people anticipate for more. So that was what made me say, okay, let me see what I can do with this petition so that maybe I can get people's attention a little bit so that we can start doing line by line. There are 102 paragraphs in Obi's petition alone, not even the other guys, 102. And that 102 started from greeting. Hi, my name is Peter Obi. And then you see APC say, oh, no, your name is not Peter Obi. Your name is Peter Gregory Obi. Oh, your name is not Peter Obi. Your name used to be Obi Peter. That is how we started, one by one. One by one. Oh, I am a Labour Party person. No, you are not. I ran with Labour Party. No, you did not. Labour Party sponsored me. This is exactly, and it's frustrating if you don't have patience. But it warms up. It warms up. If you started following my petition breakdown from page 1, you will see that we started walking our way from introduction till we got into the meat and potatoes of the case. And now we are getting into the deepest part of it. And people are starting to understand, oh my God, this is robbery. Not only did INEC scam Nigerians, APC wants to help them pretty much destroy the evidence. That's exactly what's happening in this petition. And we're only in page 50. I haven't even gone to the rest of it. In paragraph 50, excuse me. So this is, we often say, oh, I don't know. I mean, we are sure. We know. It's not even a matter of doubt. We know the election was rigged. There's evidence everywhere. There's this and there's that. But how far can you talk about it? Apart from screenshots and doctored and scribbled EC8A results and all that, what else can you talk about this election? If you drag 10 people into a room, what can you tell them that went wrong? Or how would you tell them APC tried to cover it up? We keep saying they bribe judge, they bribe this, they bribe. Yeah. But what else did they do? So here's a few things that I noted down because I didn't have a lot of time to put down notes. Sirdam, talked to me this morning while I was on my way to work. But first of all, we have to understand that we're in a court of public opinion. Court of public opinion is more important than, I'm not saying the normal traditional court of law is not important. It is important. It used to be more special until recently, until the emergence of social media. So now it's the public opinion that dictates how the case in court is going to be. Because no justice, no Supreme Court justice, no Chief Justice or whatever you have going on is going to want to rubbish their career over a case that even a farmer in the village can decide. You think a CJN, after many years of studying law, everything will come and start judging a case that we have already reviewed? You see what I'm saying? We have already started the case. I have been tweeting it, breaking it down. We have already started the case. We are seeing it. Maybe the CJN is still on page, is already on page 100, but we're on page 50, so we are coming. When the date of the trial finally drops, if you start hearing this argument, you will say, I know what these people are doing because I know what they wrote in their own reply. I know we already saw this coming. There will be no surprises because the petition and the petition replies are pretty much an introduction to the argument in court. I don't know if there are any lawyers in here that can tell us more what it means in Nigeria. But based on my own research, those documents that these parties, these respondents, you have INEC as first respondent, you have Shetima and Tinubu as second and third respondent, and then you have APC as fourth respondent. These documents are pretty much all they have to say about this election, about this petition Obi wrote. Anything else they are going to add is just constant, is just probably arguing and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. So if we know it, then we are ready. We're ready for the trial. If the judge move anyhow, talk anyhow, wait till you they talk. We know what is in the paper. Nobody is going to cover our eyes anymore. You get? So here's another thing I want to say about public opinion. When it comes to legal cases or controversies, so many verdicts arise from the court of opinion first. You see social media, you see broadcast media, you see newspaper and websites. These platforms spread information rapidly and make determinations before courts even decide on it. This includes even legal journal, law review, trade media, blah, 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 and all that. And I'm so glad that this breakdown that I'm doing is also getting lawyers talking. I read a tweet from a lawyer. He didn't mention my name, but I know he was referring to the breakdown that I was doing. He said that enough. This is no longer the time for anybody to, start hiding information in petitions, because that's usually how it is in the Nigerian legal system. A lot of lawyers don't want to talk about cases. They don't want to even share information because they feel like you can't comprehend it. You're not too smart to understand it. Or maybe you're not a lawyer. I cannot discuss law with you because you're not a lawyer. Nah, this is no longer, this is not the time anymore. If I don't understand them, I'll put it on Google. I'll copy and paste it on ChatGPT and say, oh yeah, speak this thing in common English. Let me understand. Speak it in pidgin. Make I hear them. I will understand it. And that is the mentality I want everyone to carry. Don't think that, if you're not a lawyer, you shouldn't touch a petition. That is where the whole case is. Obi's petition came loaded. He mentioned a lot of things. And I also want to point out that in as much as people argue or pretend that they don't know what is happening, everybody knows the truth, even if they don't want to admit it. We all know that. We all know that the election was rigged. We all know that APC is trying to cover up their crime. We all know that INEC messed up. But then, how are you going to present that argument if you don't even know what's in the petition, in what language they're talking about? Here's another thing I want us to pay attention to. The manual for election guidelines. I actually just recently learned that there's a manual for election guidelines, which is not the Electoral Act of 2022. The Electoral Act is there. It's like the Bible of INEC. But then the manual of election guideline is for the election, for the election period itself, which is updated for every election cycle. I hope, if I'm wrong, please someone can correct me or shed more light. But
You are right. Be going.
Thank you. So this is what they update all the, in every election cycle, and in that manual is where they put in any recent improvements, like the introduction of beavers, the introduction of IREV, in the introduction of even if they are using Apple pen or Apple laptop, whatever it is, that's where they're going to describe it. The reason why I brought up this particular manual is, if you've been reading the petition, we are now on chapter 19. If you've been reading the petition from part 1 to 19, you will notice that APC keeps arguing that INEC, that BVAS and IREV are not in the Electoral Act. And that's mischievous. That is mischievous because the Electoral Act is not supposed to have BVAS in it. The Electoral Act is like the Constitution. Would you go to the Constitution and see NTA in there? That it's not going to be there. Anybody expecting it to be there is tricky or don't know what they're saying. However, the manual itself was called from the Electoral Act because it has to follow the law. The Electoral Act was called from the 1999 Constitution. You see, these three books, they have to speak for each other. But the one that is particularly about the election year, in this case 2023, is the manual. And that is where Obi was calling out INEC on, say, on chapter this and this, you said this. But then APC will come and say, oh, that's a lie because it does not exist in the Electoral Act. Why should it exist in the Electoral Act? We don't update Electoral Act every year. We don't rewrite it every month. We don't even, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to update it again until God knows when. So these are the issues that I'm trying to point out by reviewing this, because this is the way they are trying to confuse people. They will tell you it's not in the Electoral Act so that you think, oh wow, this is a very good argument. Let's leave it alone. But that is not a good argument because it's not even supposed to be there. The Electoral Act is important, but we're not talking about the electoral. That is not what BVAS used to run the election. I mean, what INEC used to run the election with BVAS, right? So that's that on the Electoral Act issue. And another thing is, guys, APC will get into your head. They will do anything to confuse you. It's important for you to read your own, stand your ground. Make sure that you know what you're saying, or don't even get into the conversation, because the more you get in, the more they will twist it and make it seem like they will make you. That's why I blocked them, because it's exhausting to argue with them. They move like a cult. They don't care about anything. You see somebody committed a crime. Even if, God forbid, if I supported Obi and then somebody showed up and said Obi had a Guinean or even a Cameroonian passport, I'll be disappointed. I will step back. And if it turns out to be true, I will say something. I'm not going to just keep quiet and say, deal with it. Obi is the president. Obi must be the president. That is not the point. The point is that a law has been broken. Someone committed perjury. Because if you say something is bad for A, then it should be bad for B. It doesn't suddenly become good because your candidate won. And this is why I can't get along with them. You see. Then another issue that Obi's team was focusing on is the Shetima's nomination issue. I brought that out. This argument, they try to hide it because they know that's like a slam dunk. That's the best part of the whole petition. That's one of the best, actually. You hold them well for there. Shetima filled out a form. He and APC, I don't know who took it and who mailed it or delivered it or transported it or just do it like a kite to INEC's office. INEC said they received it on date A. APC said, no, that's not the date. This is the date you people received it. But then when we check the paper, it is not the date. It's a different date on it. Not only is there a different date, the date that they said they sent it is not even on the paper. And you know what's funny? They did not attach this copy in their petition reply because they don't have it. They did not bring the one that they said is the truth. They just kept arguing that it is not true. It is not true. Thanks to social media, I went straight to Facebook where my fellow mad people are. That's where we post all kinds of nonsense. I go there. I found it. I found 2 different copies, one for senatorial and one for presidential. So the whole argument is that Shetima was still a vice presidential candidate, a senatorial candidate when he accepted to be a VP. And that is against the law. INEC said, Shetima wrote a letter to us on the 6th. But we received the letter on the 15th. So therefore, we will backdate it because we are going to go by the date that Shetima sent it to us. Make una see wahala. Are we going to so if I write a letter and leave it in my house, or maybe admission, I will come. It is the day that I bring it out, is the day you're gonna backdate it? Is that how the law works? Where is it written that you have to backdate? So these are the issues. Like I said, we were focusing on a whole lot of international stuff. We are not even seeing the madness going on in the country. After these guys who won the election, not even won, after these guys robbed us in the election, right? So then here's another one that I pointed out. INEC, APC, Tinubu were saying that Obi has no local standing to file the petition. Obi has no local standing. Why? Because Obi promised APGA that he will never leave, like a jilted lover. Obi swore an oath to APGA that he will never leave them, that he will never break their heart. So therefore, he shouldn't even file this petition in the first place.
It's actually there, Sirdam. Don't laugh. It's actually there. I read it.
I'm not
making anything
It's
up.
there.
This is real.
It's actually there.
Between the
Madam,
first
pity for your broken person.
between the first and 10 paragraphs, that's exactly what they were saying. That Obi promised not to leave APGA, and then he finally left. Therefore, he's not a reliable person in a party.
Is this what Sans?
Done extensive work. I follow this every day. Please go and follow General Oluchi's work.
So apart from that, they said, another thing is that anybody they call it party hopping. This is the kind of language that was in party hopping.
Yes, that is what I wanted to say. They called him a ticket shopper. They insulted him in their petition, basically.
Yes, God bless you.
The insult not be here because a man say on a thief from him. They were so aggressive in the first few paragraphs of the petition. Then they moved on to the next argument. Obi is not properly constituted to file the petition because when he left PDP, he left PDP before he left Labour Party. The same argument that Obi is making about Shetima. They said that Obi did not leave PDP properly before going into LP. Therefore, he shouldn't even file the petition. There's madness in the in their replies. I said, oh my God. The more I read, it's like I'm reading it. Like I can imagine everybody in the room shouting on top of each other for nothing. And then you ask INEC will say we don't know, or we're not aware, or this is not, we agree, but we agree, but. So which is it, right? Another thing they brought up, INEC APC Tinubu brought up, is that Labour Party has never recorded success in the election. Therefore, they can't be expected to win 2023. My people, make una tell me, even if there's like Sisu said, there's always a first time for everything. There's a first time for what? There's a first time for everything. So because
Prior to
Labour Party,
2015, APC had not recorded any victory in any
so
election either.
because Labour Party did not win much in the last election, they will never win again, or they should never win again. And even if they win, they have no right to dispute it. This is what these guys are saying. It's madness. You say Labour Party have never recorded any. They only have actually one they won one governor in the last election, and this time around they won only one governor in Abia State. So thief, not thief. They said what does it matter? Did they win or did they not win? Right? So that's the second the third point. Another one is that Obi, they said Obi I've mentioned that one. It said they said Labour Party only had 134,874 agents, which is 41,972 less than the total figure of 176,846 agents in the whole country. Guys, let us
Polling units.
polling units. Let us take a step back here. We all remember that before the election, INEC published a list of a polling unit agents for all parties, all political parties running for office. We all saw that. It's still in their page on Twitter if you search for it. We all saw it, right? We also saw a list when there's this other party that merged,
SDP.
that merged with
ADC.
they merged
ADC,
with,
sorry, I said
so
SDP.
them
ADC.
merging with Labour Party means that they're going to join hands in observing the election,
They
right?
gave us about 50,000 extra polling agents.
But do you
We
know
had
what
more.
APC and PDP said? They said that Labour Party does not even have any That was this one I read was the first thing they said. Then few paragraphs later they said we don't even have any. We did not even have any polling agents. We don't have any. I'm not lying. I'm telling you, go first 1 to 10 paragraphs. You're gonna see this nonsense on their own
Yes,
side.
there's a Labour Party signatory on every polling result sheet for this
They
election.
say we did not have any. So
I'm just
After
telling you that I
saying
know
we
I've been
don't
reading
have
it as
any,
well. Continue.
matter plenty.
after saying sorry, I apologize, please. That is not the people that came out to be agents.
the INEC gave a figure that this is how many LP agents that I know. This is the list. They said that this is the list that
Registered
the
agents.
register that we submitted online on a portal. I don't know which portal that they did it, but that this is what Labour Party submitted, right? But then in reality, we did not have any. Nobody showed up. It was only APC and PDP that came. In fact, nobody even voted for Labour Party.
So who signed for Labour Party on all the polling result sheets?
Nobody.
Oh my
Nobody showed
God.
up. So that's on that. Now, I'm sorry if I have to go through every tiny thing I read. I'm gonna spend all day here, but let me even tell you the most annoying part. We are moving. I broke down this petition in stages, and I know some people do not like when I use memes to illustrate things, but like I said, I have an audience. I know my audience, and they love drama. They love the meme thing, and I use that meme to introduce them to where we are going. We have gone from who is Obi, who is that. We have moved into who's whether we had Labour Party agents. We have moved into ballot snatching and stuff like that. We are now moving into the AWS part, which is the Amazon Web Service part. I am not a tech sis. I'm not a tech bro, and I'll leave it for those who are experts in that field. But you see this AWS argument, this is where there's a problem. Here's the basics of it. INEC is saying that they don't have a server. They don't have a backup server. They don't have a cloud where they store their data. Everything goes from polling unit from Beavers and pew, straight into IREV. Just like that. It doesn't stop anywhere. It just goes into IREV. If there's the network connection, it will go directly. If there's no network, then it's going to sit on Beavers until network comes in, right? APC said it's a lie, that there's no, in fact, that there's no way that we don't even rely on using Beavers in the first place to upload the results. That we have never, that there's no place in the Constitution. They keep coming about with that Electoral Act. And I keep telling you, it's all a trick. It's a mind game, because they know that in the first place, Beavers issues, IREV issues is not supposed to be in the Electoral Act. But they will keep arguing it. They will keep saying it so that to confuse you, to move your attention from the fact that there's another document, another official book where those information is supposed to be, right? So the argument we are in this week for is that we're reading, not me, I'm not arguing with anybody, but in the petition where we are right now, the chapter we're right now, is that INEC says they don't use Amazon Web Cloud Service. I thought Amazon Web Cloud Service stores information. I mean, people who build websites and so forth can tell us how it works. But all of a sudden, I'm learning